It's Arkansas Traveler Baseball on the CSN Radio Network. The ITT Tech pregame show is brought to you by ITT Technical Institute. We are now online at itt-tech.edu.
It's a beautiful day for baseball. Hello once again, everybody. Live from Little Rock, Arkansas. Arkansas Traveler Baseball is on the air. Phil Elson with you on the broadcast today, doing the play-by-plays. The Travs and the San Antonio Missions get set for the last game of a three-game series here on Fireworks Night at Ray Winder Field. First Fireworks in the Rock presented tonight as it's the last home game before Independence Day. And this also wraps up not only the series with San Antonio, but the opening homestand of the second half. Travs losing the last four games. Another heartbreaker yesterday. Had a 7-6 loss in 11 innings at the hands of the San Antonio Missions. And Travs lost the ball game even though Kendrys Morales put on one of the best displays in minor league baseball this season. The Cuban defector hit 3 home runs amongst his 4 base hits. He broke a hitless streak which had reached 12. And not only hit 3 home runs, but also became the third Traveler to hit a home run from each side of the plate. His first home run, a left-handed shot. The last 2 home runs were from the right side. But the Travs unable to hold a 3-run lead in the 8th inning after Daniel Davidson had set down 18 of 19 going into the 8th. The Missions rack up 5 runs in the 8th inning as the Trav bullpen was unable to hold the lead, and the Missions go on to win it in the 11th on an infield single by Ismael Castro. And altogether, Travs and the Missions, these first 2 games, the Missions have won each of them by 1 run apiece. So the Travs trying to get back on the winning track today on a Wednesday night here in Little Rock, a very hot afternoon and evening. Hoping to get a good crowd out for Fireworks Night and send the Travs off to Tulsa for Friday's opening game with the Drillers at Driller Stadium on a positive note, because tomorrow being an off day, you always want to win those games right before you go into an off day. Thanks for tuning in to the Creative Sports Radio Network's presentation of Arkansas Traveler Baseball. This is the ITT Technical Institute pregame show. A reminder to you fans that your potential can increase with a degree. You can create your own career path with a degree from ITT Technical Institute here in Little Rock. For details, go online at www.itt-tech.edu. Again, the website, itt-tech.edu. Well, with the Travs losing the last 4 games after winning the first 2 of the second half, they've only fallen back of the first-place Wichita Wranglers by 1 game. That's because the Wranglers were a loser yesterday. We'll run through the rest of the Texas League and set up today's action as well right after these words on the CSN Arkansas Traveler Baseball Network.
As an aircraft avionics technician, I repair just about any electronic component on the airplane.
Jared Lampkin earned a Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Electronics Engineering Technology in 2003 and an Associate of Applied Science degree in 2002 from the ITT Technical Institute in Birmingham, Alabama.
My bachelor's from ITT Tech is a really well-respected degree. The school has a lot of hands-on teaching, and it's a really nice atmosphere.
At ITT Technical Institute, you can pursue skills that can be used to help you prepare for a new career or create opportunities in your current field. Call 1-800-ITT-TECH. That's 1-800-ITT-TECH, or visit us on the web at www.itt-tech.edu to investigate a campus nearest you. Find a potential new path to your future at ITT Tech.
I want to move higher, get everything I can, let my own plane.
ITT Technical Institute. Education for the future.
I just bought a 6-pack of your beer, and I think there's something missing in it. There's no taste in the beer.
There's no taste.
I was hoping maybe somebody in shipping could send me flavor. Like, I'm not trying. All I want is flavor.
Sure, there's no flavor.
Is there like a flavor distribution center in my neighborhood? I'll pick it up.
No, there's no center.
I'll tell you what. I got some Miller Lights here. That'll do the trick. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a good day.
If you're going to choose on taste, choose the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Miller. Good call.
Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Live responsibly.
Junior Banana Split. Sonic's got it, others don't. Right now, treat yourself to Sonic's 99-cent Junior Banana Split. It's almost half the size, but with all the taste, for just 99 cents. Try one today, or to satisfy your late-night cravings, try one tonight. Because Sonic's open till at least midnight all summer long. Then 99-cent Junior Banana Split at participating Sonic drive-ins. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Welcome back to Raywinder Field, Little Rock, Arkansas, site of today's Traveler baseball game against the San Antonio Missions. Trav's trying to end a 4-game losing streak. Meanwhile, they're going up against the hottest team in the league. San Antonio is 5-1 in the second half, and they've won 11 of their last 13 games, dating back to the final few games of the second half, where they pulled off a winning streak of 6 games, but still fell behind the Midland Rockhounds, the first half division champions, by 1 game in the standings. But look at those Missions getting right out of the gate quickly and making an early statement. The Missions currently ahead in first place by just half a game over Midland. The Rockhounds yesterday were a 6-5 winner over the Wichita Wranglers. Rockhounds were down 5-1 going into the bottom of the 6th and rallied back to win it with 3 runs tying the game in the 7th and 1 run in the 8th to win it. 3 homers for the Rockhounds, the team that's hit more homers than any team now in the league. The Rockhounds have hit 75 home runs. Nobody else has hit as many as 68. It was Jason Perry, now tied with the league leader Corey Aldridge, topped the league lead in home runs with his 15th of the season yesterday. Hit a 2-run shot. Mark Kiger and Francis Gomez also chipped in with solo home runs. Winning pitcher was Evan Farner, pitched a scoreless inning of relief, and Farner now 6-1. Alex Santos pitched a perfect 9th inning with a strikeout for his 10th save, and the Wranglers take that tough loss, blowing a 4-run lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Tulsa Drillers had lost their first 4 games of the second half, but the first half champion Drillers picked off a victory yesterday at Frisco 6-1. And again, it was a late comeback. The Drillers were tied with Frisco going into the 8th inning, and they rally up for 5 runs in the 8th. Jason Nix, Tino Sanchez, and the new shortstop Lance Guance each coming through with some base hits in that last rally for the Drillers. But the big hit was Tino Sanchez, as he launched a home run as part of that rally and gave the win to Yusuke Arakawa, the young Japanese native, won his 3rd game of the year with 2 1/3 scoreless relief innings. Nick Massett took the loss. He had been cruising going into the 8th inning, allowing only 2 base hits, but then gave up a few more hits on all 5 runs in that 8th inning, and Massett falls to 3-8. Corpus Christi is playing some pretty good baseball. They picked up their 3rd win against 3 losses in the second half. The Hooks yesterday win in Springfield 8-3. Tommy Whiteman and Eric Riggs had the big days. Whiteman hit his first home run with the Hooks amongst his 2 base hits. Eric Riggs, the Hooks' second baseman, finished 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Philip Barzilla and Fernando Rijo combined to allow Springfield just 8 hits. Barzilla went the first 5 innings, scattering 6 hits and allowing just 1 run. He picked up his 2nd win. Rijo took it from there. 4 innings of relief work, allowed 2 runs on 2 hits, and saved his first of the season. Springfield got a home run from second baseman Aaron Herr. The guy only joined them in mid-May, yet he just hit his 10th home run of the year. So the standings, just 6 games into the second half, it's Wichita in front of Arkansas and Springfield by 1 game apiece. Wichita's 3-3, Travs and Cardinals 2-4. Tulsa pulling up the rear at 1-4. Over in the West Division, San Antonio has won the last 5 games, is 5-1. Midland at 4-1, a half game out, and Corpus Christi and Frisco each at 3-3, 2 games out of first place. Across the league today, all start times around 7 o'clock. The Frisco Rough Riders hosting Tulsa. Sandy Neen will be pitching for the Drillers. Midland taking on Wichita today, 7 o'clock start time. Wranglers have right-hander Brian Bass with a 6-4 record. Midland had not announced their starting pitcher. In Corpus Christi and Springfield today at 7:10 at Hammonds Field. Hooks right-hander Chris Sampson, who is 2-10, will go up against Jeremy Cummings of Springfield. Cummings' record is 1-2. Trav's next opponent after the off day tomorrow will be the Tulsa Drillers, a 5-game set at Driller Stadium starting on Friday, and that series wraps up next Tuesday. While the Travs are gone, of course, we've got the big Willie Nelson Bob Dylan concert right here at Raywinder Field, and we received notice that the stage will be set up behind second base. There will be plenty of available areas to sit on the field and in the rest of the ballpark. If you're still thinking of coming out to the concert, there are tickets available, but they're really starting to go fast. So you might want to come out to the ballpark today or tomorrow, or you can dial up 975-7575 for your Ticketmaster contact, or just go to Ticketmaster.com and buy your tickets there. $53 for general admission. And don't forget that GA seat will also get a kid of 12 years or under in with you for free. And again, that is Saturday when Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson take the field in Little Rock, sans uniform. And it'll be a 5:30 time when the gates open. 6:30 is when the concert begins. Green cards are the opening act. Willie Nelson is the second act, and Bob Dylan wraps it up coming from the rear. So while we're in Tulsa, you'll be boogieing down to good old music here at Raywinder Field on Saturday night. Hope you come out and enjoy that. Looks like Steven Shell, the Traveler starter, has just started to warm up down the right field line. Let's have a break. We'll return with some news around the Angels organization. But first, these words on CSN from Bale Honda.
It has a legendary reputation for reliability, durability, and quality. It's been named to Car and Driver's 10 Best list 18 times. It was the first gasoline-powered production automobile to be certified as a low-emission vehicle in the U.S. And the best part is, it's used. Proof that how you start out in life is a good indication of how far you'll go. Honda certified used cars. See, it may be used, but it's still a Honda.
Vale Honda, 13101 Chenal Parkway, Little Rock. When it comes to a full line of office products, the name is Settle Office Products, 4412 MacArthur Drive in North Little Rock. They've been in business on MacArthur Drive for 23 years. They give free delivery anywhere in Central Arkansas. They have office furniture, office supplies, scratch and dent furniture, and they're family owned and operated. Give them a call today at 758-1050 or see them on the website at www.settleofficepro.com.
The Air Force is the only branch of service with its own community college. It's called the Community College of the Air Force, and it makes a difference. You see, in the Air Force, you earn college credit for learning your job. You can earn an associate's degree in one of 66 career fields. Your job experience goes farther in the Air Force. For more information, call 1-800-423-USAF or log on at airforce.com. Cross into the blue with the U.S. Air Force. No one comes close.
And at CSNSports.com. Click on Live Broadcast in the upper left-hand corner on your homepage for live play-by-play audio, not to mention all other programs CSN produces during the year. Check out our webpage with a list of games today on CSN, the latest scoreboard, and the latest sports headlines at CSNSports.com. That's CSNSports.com with live coverage worldwide on the Internet. CSNSports.com, bringing you closer to us than ever before.
Welcome back to Raywinder Field and the CSN Radio Network. This is the ITT Tech pregame show. A little bit of news around the Angels organization. The Halos picked out another win yesterday. They've won 8 in a row. They defeated Texas last night and now are ahead of the Rangers by 8.5 games in the West Division. And with Texas losing 3 games in a row and dropping 8 of 10, they're in danger of even falling into third, as the Oakland A's have been a bit of a resurgence recently, winning 9 of 10. But the Halos have the second best record in the American League at 47-29. They have the second largest lead of any team in the American League. The White Sox have the biggest lead in the American League at 9.5 over the Minnesota Twins. And tonight, the Angels are at Texas once again, trying for their 9th win. Former Traveler John Lackey is having his finest season of the year of his career, is going up against the Texas Rangers. Lackey will be pitching in front of course, all sorts of family and friends coming from Abilene. Lackey is 6-2 with a 3.50 ERA, and this is John's 100th career Major League appearance. And we can just remember Lackey appearing with the Travs in 2001, his second year at AA, and this night was his 100th career Major League appearance. Of course, that does not count his time in the playoffs with the Angels in 2002 and last year. We'll give you updates on the Angels games as we go throughout the broadcast today. A couple of updates around the Angels organization. AAA Salt Lake took their second straight loss, actually third straight loss, and fell out of first place by half a game. They were tanked yesterday by Tacoma 14-3. Nick Gorneau did hit his 14th home run of the season, but former Traveler Eric Sear was unable to make it through 5 innings, gave up 8 hits and 8 runs in 4 innings, and falls to 3-2. Tacoma out-hit Salt Lake 17-6 in that ball game. And Tacoma now the first place team in the PCL North by half a game over the Stingers. The California League had a day off yesterday for the Carolina League California League All-Star game, which was played in Frederick, Maryland. And the Carolina League All-Stars dominated an 8-0 win. Not too much good to talk about for Angels prospects in that game. Cedar Rapids in the Midwest League had a 5-2 win at Peoria yesterday, with Alexi Casilla picking up 2 base hits, scoring a run, knocking in another. Carl Jelena knocked picked up his 4th win, striking out 2 and allowing only 6 hits in 8 innings. And Cedar Rapids is 2-3 in the second half of the Midwest League Western Division. Pioneer League ball, Orem lost their 5th of their 8 ball games. They're 3-5, losing yesterday 4-1 to Idaho Falls. In the Arizona League, Angels were winners over the Cubs, 2-1 in Mesa. That is the news around the Angels organization on the Farm Report. Let's have a break and return with the starting lineups as the Arkansas Travelers host the San Antonio Missions on the first Fireworks in the Rock, post-game fireworks today right here at Ray Winder Field. And you've got it on the Creative Sports Radio Network.
The ITT Tech pregame show has been brought to you by ITT Technical Institute, now online at itt-tech.edu. Stay tuned next for Arkansas Traveler Baseball right here on the CSN Radio Network.
When you have a stroke, you may not even notice it right away. But then, time passes, and the symptoms get worse. 1 minute you feel fine, and the next, your speech could be slurred or not make sense. One side of your body might become numb. You might see double. You drop the TV remote because you can't hold up your arm. That's because after a stroke, every minute you don't get help is another minute that your brain is being starved of oxygen. The warning signs of a stroke include sudden numbness or weakness of the face, arm, or leg, sudden trouble seeing, speaking, or understanding. If you experience any of these warning signs, call 911 immediately, because time lost is brain lost. Visit strokeassociation.org or call 1-888-4STROKE today. A public service announcement from the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 4. And if the yolk's still a little runny, that's what you call fried over easy. Always talk quietly in the library. And that's how you give a Zerbert. Some people have innies, some people have outies. Here's the church, here's the steeple. Open the doors and see all the people.
If you're going to be 2 hours late, pick up the phone and call.
Remember, you're always teaching. Teach carefully. React with rage, and kids will learn it's okay to do the same. Keep your cool, and kids will do likewise. For a few quick pointers, visit actagainstviolence.org or call 877-ACT-WISE for a free brochure.
Eat ice cream too fast, and you'll get a brain freeze.
Brought to you by MetLife Foundation, the American Psychological Association, and the Ad Council.
A presentation of CSN, the Creative Sports Radio Network, brings you Arkansas Traveler Baseball. Today's game is brought to you by the ITT Technical Institute online at itt-tech.edu, by Coca-Cola, make it real, by Miller Lite, prevent taste loss with Miller Lite, by Allstate, you're in good hands with Allstate, and by the Sonic Drive-In. Arkansas Traveler Baseball is brought to you statewide on the Creative Sports Radio Network by Bale Honda. See the new Honda cars and trucks today. The U.S. Air Force, cross into the blue. The Bank of the Ozarks with several locations to serve you. And by the Conedo Tax Advisory Group. And now, the Texas League Arkansas Travelers.
Way to fight through a little technical difficulties. On again, off again, on again, off again. She's got the voice to get through it. That was a nice rendition. Big, booming, powerful voice for today's Star Spangled Banner. Phil Elson with you. Let's get to the starting lineups here for the final game of this series. Starting with the Missions, who are the affiliate of the Mariners. 5 wins, 1 loss in the second half, and 43-33 overall. Leading off and in left field is Jaime Bubela. Batting second at third base, Jesus Guzman. Hitting third and in right field, TJ Bohn. Cleaning up and DH, Nate Espy. Hitting fifth, the first baseman, Jesse Hurlbeck. Batting in the 6th hole at center field, Gary Harris. Batting 7th and at shortstop, Adam Jones. Catching and batting 8th is Luis Oliveros, and batting 9th at second base, Eddie Menchaca. The Travs are 2-4 in the second half. There's 36-40 overall. Reggie Willits will lead off. He'll be in right field today. Batting second at second base is Alberto Callaspo. Hitting third at shortstop, Erick Aybar. Cleaning up and catching, Mike Napoli. Batting fifth at first base, Kendrys Morales. Hitting sixth in center field, Tommy Murphy. Batting seventh at third base, Greg Porter. Batting eighth in left field, David Gates. Batting ninth, the designated hitter, Mike Elward. Stephen Shell is the pitcher for the Arkansas Travelers tonight. Bobby Livingston for the Missions. These pitchers have matched up against each other twice, and it is Livingston that has picked up a win and no loss. Shell is 0-1, but Livingston has held the Travs to, let's see here, the batting average against Livingston is 222. He's allowed only 3 runs in 14 innings against Arkansas. Shell has pitched some of his best baseball of the season against the Mission. Still no wins to show for it, however. 13 innings pitched. He surrendered just 11 hits and 3 runs against San Antonio. So good pitching matchup today. Shell's record on the year, 4-5, a .538 earned run average. And Livingston, making his 16th appearance of the year, he's been the top starting pitcher for the Missions all year. 7 wins, 3 losses, and Livingston's ERA at 2.80 is the third lowest amongst active pitchers in the Texas League. Livingston and Shell are all actually complete opposites in how they pitch. Shell, a power pitcher who throws fastballs in the low 90s with a good drop curve and a straight and a split-fingered pitch. Meanwhile, Livingston is a soft-tossing lefty who nibbles the corners but will battle in and out of the strike zone quite a bit. Never really tops out at more than 82 to 83 miles an hour, yet he has pitched some of the best baseball of any pitcher in the Texas League this year. The umpire crew for this series, Jason Stein, the crew chief, Stephen Fritzoni, and David Rackley. Stein is at third base today. Fritzoni, the umpire at first, and Rackley is the plate umpire tonight. The lineups have been exchanged at home plate. Shell has been finished with his warm-ups for a good 3 minutes. So the Travs are just about ready to take the field. It's a gorgeous day for baseball here in central Arkansas. Temperatures this afternoon were up into the high 90s. Currently it's 95 degrees with soft breeze coming in at 8 miles an hour from the south-southeast. It'll be 74 by the time this game is over and not a single cloud up in the sky. Travs are announced out to the field right now. Let's have a break. Come back with the first pitch as the Travs take on the Missions. Final game of the 3-game series right here on the CSN Travelers Radio Network.
He joined the Air Force in 1964 and served in Vietnam. He commanded forces in the far corners of the globe. Rising through the ranks, he served as a 3-star general at the Pentagon. You'd think 30 years of distinguished service would be plenty. But if you're Norman G. Leasing, Lieutenant General, retired United States Air Force, that's just the beginning. Today, he's pursuing a new career as Walmart's Vice President of National Government Relations. Norm's journey took him near and far, through Asia, Scandinavia, Europe, the Middle East, and Webster University, where he earned a master's degree that served him well in his career. I'm Bob Costas, member of the board of Webster University. All Webster campuses around the world share the same belief. Education is more than just a degree. It's real knowledge for real-world success.
For more information about graduate degrees from Webster University of Little Rock, visit them on the web at webster.edu or call them 800-828-2598.
Hey fans, Bill Valentine here with a question. When was the last time you saw the Travs turn the triple play? That's right, I can't remember either. So this year we're going to celebrate if the Travs manage to turn that trick. $100,000 to one fan if the Travs complete a triple play during the 6th inning of a home game. You got to be 18 to enter with a valid driver's license, and you must be present to win. It's the Travelers' $100,000 triple play giveaway all season long here at Ray Winder Field.
Just be yourself, you're not like anybody else. And original, one of a kind. The taste of Dr. Pepper gives life personality. Nothing is better than originality. So sweet, what you do. Nothing's better, Dr. Pepper.
Welcome back to Ray Winder Field. Phil Elson with you on the play-by-play. Arkansas Traveler Baseball here on the Creative Sports Radio Network. Thanks very much for tuning in. It'll be the last game of this homestand, and the next home game at Little Rock will be July the 6th against the Wichita Wranglers. Trav's out on a 5-game road trip after tomorrow's off day. They'll be in Tulsa from Friday through next Tuesday. Stephen Shell is warming up right now. Tall right-hander out of El Reno, Oklahoma, making his 16th start of the season. Shell's record 4-5 with a .538 ERA. Given up 96 hits and 80 in a third innings and a league-high 15 home runs. Texas League is batting .308 against Shell. He's walked 34 and struck out 64, which also is amongst the league leaders. Shell coming off of a so-so performance last time out. Picked up a win over Corpus Christi and was able to pitch around a couple of walks and 2 solo home runs in 5 innings and only allowed 3 runs. Struck out 4. Travs won that ball game 5-3, and Shell kept them in the ball game and set down the last 5 batters that he faced. Big thing for Shell is not allowing runs in the first inning. He's given up 15 first-inning runs this season in 15 starts. And in the first 2 innings, he's given up 27 earned runs. And after he gets through the first 2 innings, usually he's pretty smooth the rest of the way. We'll see how Shell does as he starts today's game against one of the league's hottest hitters right now, Jaime Bubela. He's on an 18-game hit streak. Left-handed batter, and Shell goes to work with a pitch outside. We're underway at 7:13. Bubela, Guzman, and Bohn, the top 3 hitters in the missions order. Bubela, the only lefty until the number 6 batter, Gary Harris. Shell's pitch is outside, and the count 2-0 on Bubela. Bubela is 4 for 10 in the series, had a home run on Monday, and then yesterday had 2 infield singles. Here's a 2-0 pitch from Shell, and Bubela fouls it back to the screen, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Good pitch from Shell in the hands of the left-handed hitter. Bubela couldn't extend the hands at all. Bubela had 2 infield singles yesterday, one of the first towards shortstop. It was actually up the middle. And then he keyed the 8th inning winning rally for the Missions with a bunt single to first. Shell's now missed upstairs 3-1, the count on Bubela. .292 average for Bubela with 6 homers and 32 runs batted in. He has scored 44 runs to lead all Missions players. Here's a 3-1 pitch from Shell. Bubela takes up high, ball 4, leadoff walk. So a walk to start the ball game. That's just the 6th leadoff walk that Shell has issued all season, and the 35th on the year. And this brings up Jesus Guzman, who also is on a hit streak of his own, a little more modest than Bubela's 18-game streak. Guzman's had a hit in 9 consecutive games and is 4 for 8 in the 2 games of this series. A right-handed batter, and Shell goes to work with a fastball. It's high and in, and he's missing high with these pitches right now. Guzman, 2 hits on Monday, 2 hits yesterday, and a pair of singles, including a single as part of that 8th inning rally for the Missions. Mike Napoli is out on the mound with a conversation with Shell after he has missed with 5 of his first 6 pitches. Back behind the dish now goes Napoli, and he'll get down into his catcher's stance. Infielders Porter, Aybar, Callaspo, and Morales. They're positioned for a double play. Shell brings the hands together, and a 1-0 pitch is thrown, and that also up high, ball 2. Guzman hitting .279, 6 homers, 26 RBIs. Checks the signs from his manager, Dave Brundage, third base coach's area. Now he is in there, and Shell throws the 2-0. And also up high again. 3 balls, no strikes. Shell unable to come down with the ball yet. Now a 3-0 pitch. That's right down the middle and gets a strike in there. You don't see consecutive walks from Shell all that much. Usually around the strike zone. The stretch in the 3-1 is inside, and he's walked 2 to start the game. Keith Comstock already out of the dugout. 2 hitters into the game. He is visiting the pitcher's mound. So you get a visit from the pitching coach just 3 batters into the game. Shell seemed to be a little bit perturbed out there. Missing up high with everything he'd thrown to Bubela and Guzman with a couple of pitches inside. Who knows why these pitches aren't coming down, but you need to try to bring those pitches down, and not even down a little bit, because if you bring a high fastball down a little bit, it's right underneath the letters, and quite often that turns into a home run. And for Shell, the home run has been a big issue this year. He's allowed 15 on the season and 5 in his last 4 starts. Shell back on the mound now to face T.J. Bohn, right-handed hitter playing right field. And from the stretch goes Steven. Here's a pitch and a curveball on the outside edge. Nice pitch to get ahead 0-1. I think for Shell, if he can't locate the fastball, he still has that pretty good curve that he can go to. If he's able to throw that for strikes, he may have success. And 0-1 to Bohn. Shows Bunt got it down on a fastball. Charging from third as Porter gloves it on the run. Throws, and he gets the out at first base. Really nice play by Porter. There's definitely one thing that he can do is charge the bunt and play those bunts well. He throws on the run fairly well. Sacrifice bunt pushes the runners up towards second and third base. And Nate Espy comes up with a chance to give the Missions a first inning lead. Designated hitter Espy is 2 for 7 in the series with a double and a triple. Right-handed hitter. Shell's pitch up and in. Ball 1. Steven had possibly his finest outing of the year in San Antonio. The last time he faced the Missions, May 6th. Opening game of a 3-game set out there, and Shell threw 6 scoreless innings. The only game he has not been scored in this year. The 1-0 to Espy. A curve in the dirt and blocked by Napoli as it rolls off to the right. The runners will hold their positions, and it's 2-0. Shell had left 5 runners on base in his 6 innings, gave up 5 hits and 2 walks. Bullpen was unable to hold that lead, however. Vaughn Sturzbach gave up a couple of bloop singles and 2 runs in the 9th inning, and the Missions won it on a stunner when they were down to their final strike twice. 2-0 pitch to Espy. Ball 3, a curve low and outside. 3-0. You know, you'd expect to have Espy a little patient now, as he is now forcing Shell to throw a strike. He hasn't even flinched on either of the first 3 pitches. Taking a team-leading 40 walks for San Antonio. Now Shell's 3-0 is right at the knees with a fastball, and it's 3-1. Just underway here in the top of the first. The Missions threatening after a pair of walks and a sac bunt. 3-1 on Nate Espy, who hits .281. 7 homers, 36 RBIs. And he will certainly be looking for a fastball here. Does Shell cross him up? 3-1 on the way. Fastball grounded slowly to second base. Alberto Callaspo will throw to first base. Get the out on Espy. Bubela comes home to score, and the Missions get ahead with a run. Guzman goes from second to third base. Credit Espy with an RBI groundout, his 37th run batted in. And Shell has allowed his 16th first inning run of the season. Now 28 runs in the first 2 innings on the year, but Shell, when he gets past the second, he's only allowed 21 earned runs from the second through any other inning that he's pitched in. Here's Jesse Hurlbeck. Big right-handed slugger takes a fastball right on the outside corner, and Shell has now been ahead on 2 of the last 3 hitters. Hurlbeck knocked in the tying runs yesterday with a 2-run single in the 8th inning. His only base hit of the game was 1 for 5. An 0-1, and that's under the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hurlbeck hitting .246, leads the Missions in homers and RBIs with 9 and 45. Shell sets, checks third. With 2 outs, here's the 1-1. Off-speed ground ball towards third, and coming on Porter, gloves it. Take a crow hop, flip across, and the first inning is complete. 1 run for the Missions, no base hits, no errors, 1 runner left. So the Missions get ahead without the aid of a hit. We'll go to the bottom of the first. 1-0 San Antonio, and here come the Travelers on the Creative Sports Radio Network.
If you're a fan of sports in Arkansas, then this summer CSN is the place to be, as we'll bring you Arkansas Travelers baseball, Arkansas Twisters football, and Arkansas Archangels basketball. In May, it's the high school baseball and softball tournaments and state championship games. In June, it's the high school all-star games, and in July and August, we'll bring you the American Legion state tournaments and championship games. Sports action all summer long right here on the Creative Sports Radio Network.
Why do people statewide across the state of Arkansas like CSN? Here's Gary Coates, General Manager and owner of affiliate KBJT in Fordyce.
Well, I like it because it's Arkansas-oriented. You know, the things that that CSN carries are always, from within the state, and for the most part, and it's a real big help to our broadcast schedule.
CSN now in their 27th year.
CSN is now live on the internet at csnsports.com. Click on Live Broadcast in the upper left-hand corner on your home page for live play-by-play audio, not to mention all other programs CSN produces during the year. Check out our webpage with a list of games today on CSN, the latest scoreboard, and the latest sports headlines at csnsports.com. That's csnsports.com with live coverage worldwide on the internet. csnsports.com, bringing you closer to us than ever before.
Reggie Willits, Alberto Callaspo, and Erick Aybar scheduled to bat in the bottom of the first inning against Bobby Livingston, who has been staked to a 1-0 lead. Missions get a run without the aid of a base hit. Top of the first. Here comes Willits against Livingston. Livingston, a 6'3" lefty who was drafted in the 4th round in 2001 out of Lubbock, Texas. In his 4th professional season and having another good year. Livingston has done nothing but win throughout his career and does it again this year. He's 7-3 in 15 starts. Willits, batting from the right side, takes a strike from Livingston. You see a lot of strikes from Livingston, and he usually gets ahead of hitters. 2.80 ERA and just a 2.28 batting average against. 0-1 pitch to Willits is on the way. Shows bunt, push bunt, but Livingston handles that off the mound towards first. And an easy flip to get the out on Willits. 1 gone. Alberto Callaspo comes up next. Then Erick Aybar hitting third in the Travs order. Here are the numbers on Livingston this year. 7.3 record, 2.80 ERA. He has given up only 80 base hits and 96 in the 3rd innings and just 21 walks. Against 67 strikeouts, 38 runs, and 30 of them earned. Callaspo batting from the right side will take a pitch just off the outside edge. Ball 1. Callaspo 0 for 4 yesterday, and without a hit in the series, he's 0 for 8. A 1-0 pitch on the way. A fastball on the outside corner, and Livingston evens it with a ball and a strike. Alberto's average down to 306 with 8 homers and 45 runs batted in. 1-1 off speed, and he fouls it off the end of the bat towards the dugout at first, and it's 1-2. Callaspo starts today tied with Midland's Andre Ethier for the league lead with 89 base hits, each of them one ahead of Springfield's Tyler Mingus. Ryan Spilborghs, who is up at AAA Colorado Springs now, had 87 hits before his promotion. No one on base, 1 out, and the 1-2 to Callaspo is outside by a foot. It's 2-2. Livingston throws a slider, a curveball, a changeup, and a fastball, plus a tailing fastball. The 2-2. There's the changeup, and Callaspo was in front of it, but he fouled it back. One thing about Alberto, he could be fooled on a pitch, but doesn't mean he's going to swing and miss. He's able to adjust his hands and the rest of his body to at least foul the ball. 2-2 pitch up and in from Livingston. A little purpose to that delivery. Trying to back Callaspo off the plate a little bit, and Alberto now stands back in with a count of 3-2. Here's the payoff. And Callaspo stays alive, reaching over the plate with another foul ball. Another game with a Venezuelan flag on the scoreboard when Callaspo comes up to bat. What is this, the 5th game in a row? Travs haven't won a game with the Venezuelan flag on the scoreboard yet. See if it happens today. Then we'll make an executive decision. Here's another 3-2. And Callaspo chops to the mound, and Livingston gloves it. Nice play. Flips to first, and he's taken each batter here in the first inning, Willits and Callaspo, and had them bounce back to the mound. Erick Aybar coming up next. You wouldn't know it by Livingston, but by looking at him pitch at least. But the guy has had some really, really dominating starts. Includes a game in Tulsa earlier this season where he pitched 7 perfect innings and ended up losing the game. Gave up 4 runs in the 8th. Couple of errors. Erick Aybar, the batter, takes pitch inside, 1-0, hitting .275, and a pitch on the way. And a check swing and a curve. It was low, and the appeal in Aybar's favor. It was count of 2 balls, no strikes. Actually, count of 1-1. Third baseman Guzman comes up. Here's a 1-1 from Livingston. Aybar fouls it into the seats at third on the ground, and it's 1-2. Defensively behind Livingston, Bubela in left, Harris in center, Bohn in right. Guzman, the third baseman. Jones is the shortstop. Eddie Menchaca is at second. And Hurlbeck at first with Oliveros catching. A 1-2 on the way. Aybar swings and misses. Ball dribbles away from Oliveros just a few feet. He recovers it and flips onto first base, and Aybar is thrown out on a strikeout to end the first inning. So the Travs go 3 up, 3 down to the bottom of the first and trail 1-0 as we go into the second inning after these words on CSN from Bale Honda.
It has a legendary reputation for reliability, durability, and quality. It's been named to Car and Driver's 10 Best list 18 times. It was the first gasoline-powered production automobile to be certified as a low-emission vehicle in the U.S. And the best part is, it's used. Proof that how you start out in life is a good indication of how far you'll go. Honda certified used cars. See, it may be used, but it's still a Honda.
Bale Honda, 13101 Chenal Parkway, Little Rock. When it comes to a full line of office products, the name is Settle Office Products, 4412 MacArthur Drive in North Little Rock. They've been in business on MacArthur Drive for 23 years. They give free delivery anywhere in Central Arkansas. They have office furniture, office supplies, scratch and dent furniture, and they're family owned and operated. Give them a call today at 758-1050 or see them on the website at www.settleofficepro.com.
CSN is now live on the internet at csnsports.com. Click on live broadcast in the upper left-hand corner on your homepage for live play-by-play audio, not to mention all other programs CSN produces during the year. Check out our webpage with a list of games today on CSN, the latest scoreboard, and the latest sports headlines at csnsports.com. That's csnsports.com with live coverage worldwide on the internet. csnsports.com, bringing you closer to us than ever before.
One inning is complete here at Raywinder Field. It's 1-0 San Antonio as we go to the top of the second inning, and Gary Harris, the number 6 hitter, will stand in against Steven Shell. Shell walked the first 2 hitters of the first inning and then set down 3 in a row but gave up a run. Harris, left-hander, swings out the first pitch, a high fly to center. Going back is Tommy Murphy, and plenty of room to reach up and make the catch about 5 steps off towards left field. 1 away on 1 pitch. Adam Jones coming up next. Jones is at bat in the 8th inning that brought home the final 2 runs for the Missions yesterday. Pulled a ground ball that bounced off to the left of Greg Porter, called an error. Porter was unable to stay in front of that play. Jones finished the game 1 for 4. He scored their first run of the night. right-handed batter. Prospect shortstop, and Shell's pitch is on the inside corner, and it's 0-1. Jones in his 7th game at Double-A after a pretty successful first half at Single-A San Bernardino. The 0-1, Shell's fastball right at the knees, strike 2 call. Jones is 6 for 22 at Double-A, had his first Double-A home run on Monday. That's his only RBI since coming up here. The 0-2 from Shell. Fastball just missed the outside corner, and it's ball 1, 1-2. Luis Oliveros is on deck, the catcher for the Missions. Shell looking to set down the 5th batter in a row. Shell winds, kicks, rears, deals. Curve outside. Good eye by Jones as he looks at the breaking ball to even it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-2 on the way. Another curve, and that time Jones lays off it again. Now went a little further off the plate, a little more downward movement to it. So Jones displaying a little bit of patience. Now a 3-2, and a swing and a foul off the umpire. Dave Rackley, the plate umpire, took that on the left leg, it looks, and he is limping a little bit as he walks in front of the plate and dusts it off. Shell came right on Jones's fists with a fastball. Attacking the inside corner. What does he come with here? No one on base, 1 out, top of the 2nd, 1-0 San Antonio. Here's the kick and the 3-2, and another foul ball by Jones. Straight over the roof just to our right of the broadcast booth. Still 3-2. Don't expect to see that kind of patience from a 19-year-old hitter, especially on that one curveball, which was extremely close. That was on the 1-2 pitch. And now Jones has fouled off a couple of 3-2 counts. Here's another payoff. Off-speed ground ball towards the hole at short. Up with it, Porter throws off balance, right on the money. Porter's handled 3 plays perfectly. There's 2 outs in the 2nd. Now Luis Oliveros will come up for San Antonio. So it seems Steven has settled down after coming out with maybe a little bit too much adrenaline or who knows what. Walked the first 2 hitters on 9 pitches. Most of the pitches missed high, but now he's starting to come down into the lower parts of the strike zone. Here's Luis Oliveros, right-handed catcher, takes a curve inside, and it's ball 1. Oliveros playing in his 2nd game of the series. He was 1 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. A 1-0 pitch on the way from Shell, and the fastball popped up over first base, foul territory. Kendrys Morales over towards the fence doesn't have a play. It's 7 rows deep. Into a packed Optimist dugout. There's maybe 10 empty seats. Optimist dugout today has 8 groups in it. The most packed section of Ray Winter Field today. 1-1. Oliveros pops another one out of play. This one gets over the seats and out of the ballpark into the parking lot. 1-2. Shell with a chance for a perfect 2nd inning here. He's retired the first 2 batters. Now 1-2 on the 8-hitter Luis Oliveros. Steps back, kicks the leg. Off speed, another ground ball to Porter. Comes up with it. And the throw to first base is in time, and Steven Shell has now set down 6 in a row. 3 up, 3 down here in the 2nd. And we'll take it to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It's 1-0 San Antonio on the CSN Travs Radio Network.
I never wanted a Coke so bad in my life. Like the time I went on a shop till you drop-a-thon with my girlfriend. So there I am pinballing from store to store across the vast expanse of this mega mall, forced to give my opinion on her clothing choices, which she promptly ignored. I think it was from all the, yeah, that looks great, honey, but I was parched. Only one thing was going to unparch me, a Coke. I would have cried, but I couldn't spare the fluid. So next time I go shopping, it'll be online. Coca-Cola. Make it real.
You are witnessing some intense pain here, folks. Throbbing muscles, swollen joints. This is pure torture. We're talking total body suffering. Not even the internal organs are...
Bob, the game hasn't started yet.
Game? I'm talking about me.
Don't let orthopedic discomfort interrupt your life. Learn to manage it with Baptist Health in Ortho, Arkansas, the state's leaders in orthopedic medicine. To reach a specialist or for more information, call Baptist Health Helpline at 227-8478 and get back in the game.
Ooh, I can feel that hit up
Hey,
here.
fans, it's easy to get discount tickets to Travs games all year thanks to Ready Ice. Arkansas's #1 ice company, Ready Ice presents Ready Ice Wednesdays at Ray Wonder Field. Just pick up a discount coupon for any Wednesday Travs home game anywhere Ready Ice is sold, like most Shell and Exxon gas stations. Bring the coupons to the Travs box office for $3 general admission tickets to any Wednesday home game. That's Ready Ice Wednesdays at Ray Wonder Field all season long. Thanks to Arkansas's #1 ice company, Ready Ice.
Bottom of the second inning as the San Antonio Missions take this 1-0 lead over the Travs. They scored a run without a hit in the top of the first. And then Bobby Livingston sent down all three batters he faced in the first inning. Now it'll be Mike Napoli leading off the second. Napoli, Kendrys Morales, and Tommy Murphy to bat in the second inning against the lefty Livingston, who was born in St. Louis, makes his home in Lubbock, Texas now. Pitch on the way to Napoli. Off speed, and he checks the swing. It's low and outside, ball one. Mike Napoli is 1 for 8 in the series. Scored a run yesterday. Reached with a single in the 8th inning, and then scored on Morales' third home run. A pitch now inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Livingston, who works quickly into the windup, the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Napoli in front of an off-speed pitch, and the count now 2-1. Napoli hitting at .279 now. His average has fallen about 15 points during a stretch in which he's gone 3 for his last 27. Here's a 2-1. Fastball popped it up, sky high, shallow right field. Menchaca, the second baseman, is out there. Gives way to Bohn. The right fielder comes in and makes the catch about 10 feet into the outfield. Napoli is out number 1 of the second inning. Now Kendrys Morales coming up. Kendrys put on quite a show yesterday. 3 home runs, the first Texas League batter to pull the trick this season. He'll bat from the right side, and here's Livingston's delivery. Fastball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Wouldn't expect Livingston to challenge Morales with a fastball, but what he did was he challenged him with a fastball that wasn't in the strike zone. It was a little bit up. Now an 0-1 pitch from Livingston. Off speed outside, and it missed by at least a foot. 1-1. Morales had been hitless in 13 at-bats until coming up in the 4th inning yesterday and launching a home run from the left side. And he followed up with 2 home runs from the right side. An off speed from Livingston, and Morales leaning over the plate, swings and misses, and it's 1-2. So Kendrys now in 13 games in Arkansas is hitting .220 with 3 homers and 10 RBIs. 5 of those RBIs were yesterday. The 1-2 in the dirt outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. What was interesting about Morales, he hit a home run in his first at-bat at single A. And it took him 13 games to hit a home run at double A, and then when he finally hit one, he unloaded. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Morales strikes out on an off-speed pitch from Livingston. You expect to see off-speed pitches every sequence from Livingston. You just never know exactly when he's going to throw it. Doesn't fall into patterns. And he mixes up his pitches. He'll pitch from behind sometimes, and then on occasion he'll get ahead with a fastball. Never quite know what to expect from him. Tommy Murphy now stands in. The switch-hitting center fielder bats right-handed, and here's a pitch from Livingston. Another change-up, and Murphy swings and misses. Strike 1. Murphy has had a couple of hits in each game of the series. He's 4 for 8 with 2 doubles, and he scored 3 runs. Average now up to an even 300. 9 homers, 38 runs batted in. An 0-1. And there's a called strike at the knees. Another off-speed pitch from Livingston. Now, who knows? Many pitchers don't throw 3 consecutive off-speed pitches, but Livingston might just do it. Here's the left-hander's 0-2, and it is off-speed. It's low and outside. Another straight changeup. Taking the count to 1-2. 1-0. The Mission's leading in the second. Here's a 1-2 to Murphy. Just missed the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That time Livingston came with a little heat. You underline the word little when you say heat. Now the 2-2 to Murphy. Swing and a miss. A curveball strikes him out. And Livingston has struck out 3 of the first 6 hitters, retiring all 6 of them. 2 innings are in the books here at Ray Winder. It's 1-0 San Antonio. We go to the top of the third on the CSN Travelers Radio Network.
1998, New York City Marathon runner German Silva made a huge mistake. 1/2 mile from the finish line, he took a wrong turn. When he heard yells from the crowd and saw the looks on their faces, he realized his mistake. He immediately turned around, but the error cost him a crucial 15 seconds. His only hope for winning now was to sprint to make up for lost distance. Did he have the energy? Could he do it? He later said, "Too much work had gone into this race. I had to fight it out." He was able to make up the lost distance and finish first in his division, but only because he refused to allow a wrong turn to knock him out of his quest for the prize. I'm Mark Evans, pastor of the church at Rock Creek. You know, there are times in life when we make a wrong turn, but when we discover that it was a wrong turn, the wise person changes direction.
Hit a home run with your family tonight. Whether you're planning a meal before the game or snacks for the game, remember to include milk, cheese, and yogurt in the game plan. 3 servings a day of dairy is the right amount to help keep your body healthy. It's easy. Just look for the 3-a-day logo on your favorite calcium-rich dairy foods at your local retailer. For more information, including recipes and coupons, visit www.3aday.org. Have you had your 3 a day today? The power of cheese.
Top of the third now at Ray Winder Field. It's 1-0 San Antonio. Neither team has a base hit, and the Mission's got a run in the first on 2 walks, a sac, bunt, and a ground out. Stephen Shell has now retired 6 batters in a row, 5 of them on ground balls and 1 on a fly ball. Eddie Menchaca steps in to hit. We haven't seen him this series, and in fact Menchaca has missed a few games after getting beamed in the head by a pitch in Springfield. In the first pitch, the right-handed batter pulls it just past the third baseman Porter for a base hit. Porter playing in a couple of steps. Quick on the reaction, but the ball was hit fairly hard off to his left, and he could not get to it. Took 1 step. The ball was 3 steps away. So Menchaca on base with the first hit of the game. Now to the top of the Mission's order, and Jaime Bubela. Bubela drew a walk in the first on 5 pitches and scored the game's first run and only run. Left-handed batter, 4 for 10 in the series. Porter coming in at third a little. Here's a pitch. Fouled back, 0-1. Shell challenging Bubela, a batter who's hit in 18 consecutive games. Bubela, an interesting prospect. Got a very strong throwing arm. He covers a lot of ground in the outfield. Might be one of the fastest runners in the league. The stretch on the 0-1, and Bubela sends it on the ground to short. Up with it is Aybar on a Callaspo 1. Here's the relay. Rack him up. A double play. 6-4-3. One thing you can count on when Stephen Shell is on the mound, you're going to see at least one double play. That's the 17th that has been turned behind Shell in 16 starts. And the duo of wizardry turns another one. Aybar and Callaspo made that one look easy. There's 2 outs. Jesus Guzman comes up. Nobody on base. Right-handed batter walked in the first. Shell starts him with a curve, a called strike on the low outside corner. 1-0, the Mission's in front. We're in the top of the third. After giving up his first base hit, Shell erases the bases with a twin killing. Now an 0-1 on the way to Guzman. Curve low and outside and bounced away from Napoli. Guzman doing a nice thing, trying to bounce the ball away with his bat. Picks it up himself and flips it to Napoli. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Guzman. Shell winds up the 1-1. Fastball at the letters, and Guzman looks at strike 2. Guzman had just his 2nd season in the United States. He and his double play combination, Adam Jones, between them, that's just, 39 years of age between the two of them. Guzman takes a pitch low. It's 2-2. Jones, who is 19, is playing in just his 7th game at Double A, and Guzman, who turned 21 earlier this month, playing his 61st game of Double A ball. 2-2 pitch. And a curve low is 3-2 now. Guzman played his first 3 professional seasons in Venezuela, his native homeland. Last year, he started as a 19-year-old at advanced single A ball. I mean, at 19 years old, you usually don't start at advanced single A. Shell's pitch. He struck him out with a hard fastball. And Guzman swings and misses to end the 3rd inning. Shell gives up a leadoff single, but then takes care of the next 2 hitters with a double play and a strikeout. His first K of the game. Bottom of the 3rd coming up, 1-0 San Antonio, and this is the CSN Travs Radio Network.
Well, it's the end of the day, and you've got 2 choices, each with its own delights. The champagne of beers or the champagne of light beers. So you do what every good high life man would do when faced with a head-scratching decision. You find a quarter. Tails. You say Miller High Life Light and reach for the peanuts. The rising moon says, well done, my friend. That's the High Life way. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Live responsibly.
Ed and I sell soft drinks at ball games, and he first told me about BC Powder.
We carry big trays and drinks up and down the stadium steps. Man, it's a killer.
And with a backache, that tray feels heavier and heavier.
And the stairs are tough on your knees.
One night I was dragging, and the game wasn't half over.
I told Brian he needed a BC to stop the pain fast, because it goes to work quick.
BC stopped the pain, got me right back to work.
BC goes down easy with a soft drink, but don't tell the boss, okay?
BC, pain relief at the speed of powder. Use as directed.
It's time for a reintroduction to one of your close friends. A friend who supported you through many a spring or summer night over the years, and you never have to go searching for him. He's always in the same spot along the 3rd base line. Baseball fans, reintroducing the Ray Winder Field Bleachers. The Bleachers are the place to gather with your other friends to catch exciting Arkansas Travelers baseball. And at just $6 a ticket, there's no place friendlier. Call the Travs at 664-1555 or visit Travs.com.
Arkansas Traveler Baseball goes into the bottom of the 3rd inning here on CSN on a spectacular Wednesday night here in Central Arkansas. First fireworks from the Rock tonight brought to you by Allstate Insurance and Bank of America. First 1,000 kids to the ballpark today received a free Hot Wheels car courtesy of Lando Frost. Thank you to Ready Ice for providing tonight's discount tickets. We're back in town next, Wednesday, a 5-game set over 4 days against Wichita. After a 5-game series in Tulsa. Greg Porter leads off the 3rd. It's 1-0 San Antonio, and Porter hits a ground ball. It's a base hit into right field. 1 pitch, and the Travs get their first base runner as Porter collects his 4th base hit of the series. And just as you wouldn't expect, the only left-handed batter gets a hit on the lefty Livingston. But Porter has hit lefties so well all year. Greg, who comes in today with an average against lefties at 373, just collected his 29th hit against the southpaw. Stepping up now, David Gates. And joining us in the broadcast booth is Tom Kaiser, the esteemed president.
Esteemed?
Esteemed and esteemed, all in one. Here's a pitch to David Gates. It's low and away, ball 1. Well, Tom, we saw a little history yesterday. 3 home runs by Kendrys Morales. Did you pick the right day to come to Little Rock? You got the announcement of the new ballpark agreement with the city of North Little Rock and the Travs, and you see Kendrys Morales hit 3 home runs.
Well, and what people aren't talking about is his first at bat, and he put the outfielder up to the ATV sign. He almost had 4.
And had a chance for the 4th in his last at-bat, and instead of a home run, he disappointed everyone with a single.
Well, with a very hard single.
Very true. 1-0 to Gates. And that's on the outside corner, a strike, and it's 1-1. Gates hitting .264, 10 homers, 40 RBIs. And last night, Gates ejected after striking out in the 8th inning. He had been chirping a little bit with Stein, the plate umpire and the crew chief, and after swinging and missing at a high fastball, Stein just turned around and threw Gates out of the game. Stretch and a 1-1. And Gates will take an off-speed ball on the. It just missed outside. It's 2-1. Now, Tom, you being here and seeing the ejection, and I don't know how much of a report you need, but any player that gets ejected from a game is automatically fined. Now,
almost automatically, yes.
Almost automatically. What kind of exceptions can you make?
Well, if I think that the ejection was unjustified or the umpire may have been a little hasty.
2-1 to Gates, change up outside, 3-1. And will that sometimes come from the report, or because you're going off the umpire's report? Do you also talk with the managers as to maybe what happened as well?
Well, there's sometimes the way the report's written will lead to questions, which will lead to further investigation.
You break out your personal investigator.
Right.
3-1 to Gates. Swing, a high fly foul, and out of play on the right side, and it's 3-2.
That I can tell you would not be the case with last night's incident.
Warranted ejection.
Oh, well, heck, I was sitting downstairs and I was watching the whole thing, and I thought, oh, this is going to happen in about 5 seconds.
And it did.
It did.
The next pitch came, and 2 seconds after he was gone. 3-2 to Gates. Livingston deals. Gates takes low, ball 4, and there's 2 runners aboard. Generally, you get about 2 walks a game from Livingston. That's the first. But after he had retired the first 6 hitters, quarter singles and Gates walks, so there's 2 runners on base from Mike Elward, the designated hitter.
And he is, Livingston actually is third in the ERA race, but he's first of pitchers that are still in the league, since the pitchers in front of him have both been promoted to AAA.
Christian Parker of Tulsa, still the league leader at 206. Fernando Nieve, who's been up at AAA since the start of the second half, at 265. Livingston entered the day at 280. The pitch to Elward, squaring, got the bunt down. Livingston off the mound towards first base, will flip to first for the out. Elward drops down that sacrifice and pushes the runners up. Good job by Elward, just giving up that at-bat immediately and gets down an important sacrifice. Now the Travs have a chance to tie the game. It's plays like that make you appreciate Mike Elward's ability to just come in and add to the lineup even when he's not playing every day anymore. Lost his everyday starting job to Morales at first base, and Elward had been hitting the ball fairly well, but I think he was the best first baseman fielding-wise in the league, and then loses his position. I was talking with him earlier today. When you get your chance to come up and play, got to do what the coaches ask you. They just did that. And now to the top of the order, and Reggie Willits with a chance to tie the game and perhaps give the Travs the lead. A pitch upstairs, ball 1. So that was the second sacrifice bunt of the season for Elward. The Missions play the middle infielders back a few steps. The corners 1 step behind the baseline. Porter ready to sprint home from third base. Willits batting right-handed. Livingston sets, deals. Swing and a miss by Willits on a changeup, and it's 1-1. You know, Tom, usually when you see a left-hander like Livingston, and also I think he and Daniel Davidson are somewhat similar kind of pitchers, lefties that don't throw very hard, rely on a number of different pitches. They don't just throw 3, they throw about 5 different pitches. And they nibble on each corner, but then they'll also challenge the batter. A lot of times now you hear these guys referred to as quote-unquote Jamie Moyer types. Then Keith Comstock said, you know, no one was referring to them as Jamie Moyer types when Moyer was getting smacked around in the early 90s. Here's a 1-1 to Willits. And that is outside, ball 2, 2-1. Only recently, the last 7, 8 seasons, that Moyer has become such a dependable pitcher for the Mariners. But he kind of sets a pattern. Glavin, who's now at the Mets, almost the same way. 2-1 to Willits, is down low, and it's 3-1. The thing you forget is that Glavin used to throw 90 miles an hour. Wasn't always the hardest throw, but 90 miles an hour is already harder than Livingston throws. He'll top out about, 84, 85?
Well, and the thing about left-handers, which I've never understood, but it's explained to me that they have natural movement on the ball, which right-handers don't. Now, why that is, I can't tell you.
The 3-1 to Willits. Takes a strike at the knees, and the count goes full. And maybe it's the same reason that their hat is always askew. You can never fully understand why it is. Let's see if Livingston's hat is askew.
He looks pretty squared up to me.
Yeah, his hat is actually straight on. He's a lefty in a righty's body then. The 3-2. A swing and a pop-up on the infield. This will not bring home a run. Underneath it, Jones, the shortstop. And he makes the catch, and there's 2 outs. So it'll take a base hit from Alberto Callaspo or possibly something else. Livingston hasn't thrown a wild pitch this year, so don't count on a wild pitch to score a run. Just got to clutch out on a batter in Willits, who leads the Travs with sacrifice flies. Now Callaspo batting from the right side and swings at a pitch. It's a high fly straightaway center. Harris going back, and he's got a beat on it. Couple steps up, makes the catch. So the Travs had 2 runners on and nobody out. They do not score. 1 base hit, 1 walk, 2 runners left. 3 innings are in the books in Little Rock. It's 1-0 San Antonio. This is Arkansas Traveler Baseball on the Creative Sports Radio Network.
Hey, imagine the following. You and the family are sitting at Ray Winder Field, top of the 6th inning. Tulsa has 2 on, nobody out. A line drive to the shortstop, diving catch, tags the runner, throws to second. Hey, it's an amazing triple play. You just won $100,000. That's right. If the Travelers turn a triple play in the 6th inning of a home game this year, one fan wins $100,000 grand. Travs triple play contest all season long. 18 and older with a valid driver's license must be present to win.
You know, a while back when I was growing up, that was a long time ago, the Travelers used to do free tickets for kids with the Notto game. Well, the tradition continues at Ray Winder Field thanks to the West Little Rock Optimist Club. Listen to this deal. Every Traveler home game, youth groups can get free box seats. You heard right. Free box seats by calling the Travelers at 664-1555. Just ask for the Optimist Dugout, and each kid in your youth group or baseball team gets a free box seat while the adults pay just $6. You won't find a better deal anywhere in town. The Travs and the West Little Rock Optimist Club are committed to passing our love for baseball to your kids. In order to take advantage of this, you got to call 664-1555 and ask about the Optimist Dugout. Free box seats for youth groups every game, only at Ray Winder Field.
I never wanted a Coke so bad in my life.
Well, yesterday we had 3 fairly uneventful innings before getting into the 4th. Same thing today. San Antonio is leading 1-0 after 3 innings. They were leading 1-0 after 3 innings yesterday. Steven Shell starts the 4th with a strike over the outside corner to T.J. Bohn. Here are the totals. San Antonio, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. They've stranded 1. Travs 0-1-0, 2 runners left. Broken bat, grounder by Bohn towards third, back in by Porter. Bobbles it once, recovers, bare hand, fire down to first for the out. And Greg Porter's perfect at third base today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays Porter has handled without a problem. And Shell now has Nate Espy coming up to bat. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. This is the Creative Sports Radio Network, your home for Traveler Baseball. Standing in Espy, right-handed batter who knocked in the first run with a ground out in the first inning, and he takes a strike from Shell and a curveball to get ahead 0-1. Shell's 0-1 on the way, and the curveball fouled down the third base side. It's 0-2. Tom Kaiser joining us on the broadcast as well. Tom, we always get quick innings when you're on with us.
Might stay the whole game. Maybe we can get this done in 2:10.
I hadn't thought about that yet. You know, we're superstitious types up here in the broadcast booth. 0-2 pitch. Espy swings and misses, and Shell striking out his second of the game. Hard fastball, and that one up at the letters, and SB couldn't catch up. Shell is now officially dealing, after walking the first two batters.
See, I describe to the Red Barber School of Broadcasting, I'm a reporter, and if there's a no-hitter going on, if I don't talk about it, then I'm not doing my job.
Jesse Hurlbeck will stand in, and here's a pitch to him, and it is just under the knees, ball one. Hurlbeck is 0 for 1. Well, there's another way to look at it. I don't use the word no-hitter until the 7th inning, if that's what's going on. However, I will say, they don't have any hits. He hasn't allowed a hit. 1-0 to Hurlbeck is outside. It's 2-0. And I know there's some people that won't even bring up the idea that somebody hasn't allowed a base hit or something like that. Yeah, that's kind of silly. Should leave some of the superstitions to the dugout and the dugout alone. 2-0 the count on Hurlbeck. Here's a pitch from Shell. And a swing and a foul straight back, and it is 2-1. I hadn't thought about this yet, Tom, but I mean, usually if you're watching somebody throw a no-hitter, when you get to the 7th, 8th, 9th innings, the pitcher, when he's done pitching, goes back into the dugout. Nobody sits anywhere close to him. I mean, as if he has some kind of awful disease. The 2-1 to Hurlbeck is inside. It's 3-1. But here at Raywinder Field, there is no room in these dugouts. So how can they stay far away from him? He's got to go to the clubhouse.
No, he could go to the back row of the dugout where nobody sits.
Here's the 3-1, and Hurlbeck takes a strike at the letters, and it's 3-2.
As much of a cave as they are, they'd be pretty cool place on a night like tonight.
Dank, dark caves, leaking.
I can understand why they wouldn't want to talk to him, or why he wouldn't want anybody to talk to him.
3-2 pitch, grounded foul, still 3-2.
I can remember when I was in high school, I got hot one day in the bowling lanes and opened a game with 7 straight strikes. And then somebody said something to me like, "Oh man, you're hot," and I didn't get a mark the rest of the way.
Shell's 3-2, low and outside, and Hurlbeck takes the walk with 2 outs.
I was just in a zone. Never done it again.
Until somebody actually pointed out to you how well you were doing.
Right.
That's why, I go up and talk to some of the players that are doing very well. They quite often don't like to talk about why they're doing well, what it is that they might have changed, because then they might start thinking about it a little bit too much, and then they get in their own heads.
Exactly.
So it's a good thing I can't speak with Kendrys Morales, because I don't speak Spanish. He doesn't speak English. Gary Harris, the batter, left-hander, takes a strike at the letters, 0-1 on a curveball. 1-0 Missions, top of the 4th. And it's pretty good. You can't get in anybody's head if there's that language barrier. So there's my excuse for not knowing how to speak Spanish. And 0-1 to Harris. Swing a fly ball left field, and Gates stops right in his tracks. Now a couple steps towards the foul line, and he makes the catch. So Shell has for 3 scoreless innings after giving up a run in the first, 1 walk in the 4th, and that is it. Bottom of the 4th coming up, and the Travs down 1-0 to the Missions, and this is the CSN Traveler Radio Network.
I never wanted a Coke so bad in my life. Like the time I went on a shop till you drop a thon with my girlfriend. So there I am pinballing from store to store across the vast expanse of this mega mall, forced to give my opinion on her clothing choices, which she promptly ignored. I think it was from all the, "Yeah, that looks great, honey," but I was parched. Only one thing was going to unparch me: a Coke. I would have cried, but I couldn't spare the fluid. So next time I go shopping, it'll be online. Coca-Cola. Make it
Chick
real.
has always given you and your family the best choices in great food. Many of you are now watching those carbs, and although the Pig and Chick menu has always offered great low-carb items, there's now a special low-carb menu featuring items with the same great taste Pig and Chick is famous for. Of course, you'll still find those great Pig and Chick ribs, barbecue sandwiches, catfish, gourmet sandwiches, chicken, steaks, and more. Bring the whole family for a relaxing dinner. In a hurry? Get it to go. Pig and Chick, 7824 Highway 107 in Sherwood. Open 10:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
Did you know that more than 250 Arkansans are currently awaiting an organ transplant? And did you know that every 16 minutes, a new name is added to the organ transplant waiting list? You can help to reduce these numbers by registering to become an organ donor. Call the Arkansas Regional Organ Recovery Agency at 866-660-5433 or visit the Aurora website at www.arora.org to learn more. Become an organ donor. Give hope.
1-0 San Antonio. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning as dusk begins to set into central Arkansas. Phil Elson with you on the play-by-play. Tom Kaiser on the everything else as of right now. The historical end of things, the suspension end of things, and all things in between. Erick Aybar leads off the fourth. Bobby Livingston delivers a first pitch. And Erick takes all the way to strike out the knees, and it's 0-1. Tom, let's see if this Texas League scoreboard is working today. It wasn't working yesterday. I know you'd like to know what's going on in the league. Here's an 0-1 to Aybar. And there's a fastball under the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Heck, I want to know what's going on in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh?
With our Buccos.
I took a tough loss yesterday to the Nationals. We'll get to the Major League scoreboard in just a second. First, the Texas League scores as Aybar steps out of the box. The Tulsa Drillers and the Frisco Rough Riders are 0-0 in the bottom of the third at the Giant Soda Bottle. Here is a 1-1 to Aybar. Swing and a fly ball down the left field line. Shallow. Bubela has it fall in front of him, and Aybar is aboard with a single. Good placement by Aybar. He forced Bubela to go off to his right because Bubela comes in about as well as any other left fielder does. So as the Travs have had their leadoff man reach now in 2 consecutive innings, we'll see if they can bring Aybar around. Wichita scored 2 runs in the second, and the Wranglers lead at Midland 2-0 in the top of the fourth. Springfield scoring a run in the first and second innings, and it's the Cardinals 2, Corpus Christi 0 in the top of the third inning. And Hammons Field. Here in Little Rock, it's 1-0 San Antonio in the bottom of the fourth. Mike Napoli batting with a runner at first, and the pitch is low, ball 1. Well, Tom, since you asked, I'm going to refresh this webpage before I give you the Pirates Nationals score. Stretched by Livingston, and a 1-0 to Napoli is low again, ball 2. Napoli 0 for 1, flying out to right field in the second. It is Washington 1, Pittsburgh 0 in the third at RFK. Angels took a 3-0 lead in the first inning, and it's still 3-0 in the fourth at Texas. John Lackey has struck out 6 hitters in 3 1/3. Napoli a swing and a miss at a changeup. It's 2-1 now. Tom, did you see Lackey pitch in the 2001 season?
Oh, sure.
Today is his 100th Major League appearance. And he's had a great season so far. 6-2 with an ERA at 3.5.
Right, Brendan Donnelly, Lackey. Remember them very well.
Here's a 2-1, and Napoli waves and misses again to the changeup from Livingston. Everything outside or low to Napoli. It's 2-2. No outs. 1-0 missions. Bottom 4, and Aybar, the runner at first, has stolen 22 bags. Caught 11 times. Now Livingston comes set. Throws over to first base. Didn't give his best move, and Aybar's back in. Now, Bill Stoneman, the GM of the Angels, is here, and he and Bill Valentine were talking before the game about some of their favorite players that have come through Little Rock during the Angels affiliation. And do you remember who came to Little Rock at the end of the 2001 season in a trade from the Rockies? Aybar running, Napoli swinging, a high foul ball over the first base roof.
Sean, don't call me Chone Figgins.
That would be exactly right. And Valentine said that that has been his favorite traveler to go up to the major league since the Angel affiliation began.
Really?
Just because of his ability to play every position, that he came over in basically a throwaway trade.
Right.
Where the Angels sent the fringe AAA outfielder Kim Barty to the Rockies and got Figgins, who's turned out to be a catalyst for them in the last 3 years. And plays every position except pitcher and catcher and first base.
A great on-base man.
Napoli pops up the 2-2 right at his fist behind the plate. The catcher steps on the bat but still makes the catch right at the fungo circle behind the batter's area. And Napoli, he didn't mean to put the bat right where Oliveros was going after it. Oliveros circled around the ball and almost tripped on the bat. But he was able to stay on his feet. Napoli is out number 0 for 2 now. It's his first out of the inning. Now here comes Kendrys Morales. Tom, I was looking for it. Who was the last Texas League hitter to hit 3 home runs? Was it McPherson in 2003?
Without my files, I'd have to look, but That sounds right.
I don't think it happened last year in the Texas League.
The only in the back of my mind, I want to say Corey Aldrich may have.
There's a throw to first base, and Aybar is back in there. Corey Aldrich might have. And I remember McPherson doing it here in Little Rock, late August 2003, with 3 shots to dead center field. Jason Heisman did it in 2001 with the Travelers in Wichita. And then Kendrys Morales does it yesterday. Problem is, the only game the Travs have lost, well, they've had a player hit 3 home runs since the Angels came in 2001, was yesterday. Morales struck out swinging in the second inning. There's a pitch. And off the outside corner, ball 1, 1-0. I know Aldrich had a game where he knocked in 8 runs last year. Here's the stretch in the 1-0. And a wave and a miss by Morales off speed, and it's 1-1. Aldrich tied for the league lead in home runs now. He's another guy who kind of given away to an organization from the Braves over to the Royals. He was just released from Atlanta. And playing some pretty good ball in a full year with the Wranglers now. Pitch to Morales is just a little low, 2-1.
Another one of the players that was promoted to AAA right at the All-Star break, or right after the All-Star game in which he participated.
Well, let's talk a little bit about we've got the Missions and the Travelers here, but I want to talk a little bit about the Wranglers and their affiliate, the Royals, and how they treat AAA and AA a little differently. Livingston's pitch bounces in front of a home plate, and Oliveira's unable to block it. It skips over to the left. Aybar at second. He's going to try for third. He is thrown out by 3 miles. Aybar had second base easily. Oliveira's went over to the third base dugout to pick up the ball, and Aybar, a little over aggressive, tries to get to third base, and he was out by, it wasn't even close. So we'll see how you score that. I'm not sure if it's a wild pitch that gives Aybar second base anyway. You do have to account for the base. The out at third goes 2-5. On a fielder's choice now, 2 outs, 3-1 the count to Morales. And with the bases empty, Livingston to the windup. Here is the pitch to Kendrys. Swing and a miss on a change. It's 3-2. Notice with the Royals, they really seem to treat their AA team as their AAA team. They promote more players from Wichita than I think they do from Omaha. And it seems that Omaha is the place where Royals prospects go to die.
Well, it's
3-2 fouled off.
AAA has changed in the last 15 years, where it used to be the progression A to AAA and then major leagues, A, AA, AAA. When values of franchises and the new modern parks put more pressure on major league clubs to have winning clubs.
Morales lines the 3-2 in a shallow right. Bohn comes on and makes the catch off to the side. A nice grab right at his knee. Tom will have to hold that thought for a second. Travs go without a run in the 4th. Got 1 base hit, but a runner thrown out at 3rd. And we go to the 5th inning. It's 1-0 San Antonio. This is the CSN Travs Radio Network.
Hey, nobody said quitting smoking was easy. But others have done it, and you can too, with help from the SOS Quit line, 1-866-NOW-QUIT. They'll give you the help you need to kick the tobacco habit. It's free, and it's free of nagging and preaching too. So call 1-866-NOW-QUIT and get the help you need. What have you got to lose, besides the most dangerous habit you've ever had? 1-866-NOW-QUIT. Call now.
Hey fans, Bill Valentine here with a question. When was the last time you saw the Trav turn to triple play? That's right, I can't remember either. So this year, we're going to celebrate if the Travs manage to turn that trick. $100,000 to one fan if the Travs has completed a triple play during the 6th inning of a home game. You got to be 18 to enter with a valid driver's license, and you must be present to win. It's the Travelers' $100,000 triple play giveaway all season long here at Ray Winder Field.
Sports fans across Arkansas remember Jim Elder as a walking baseball encyclopedia and a legendary sports figure who was named the state's top sportscaster 11 times. but Jim was about much more than sports. He loved people, and especially he loved kids. Jim passed away in 1998, but his memory lives on through the Jim Elder Good Sport Fund, working closely with programs such as the First Tee Park and the Lamar Porterfield RBI program. The Jim Elder Good Sport Fund helps kids learn leadership, sportsmanship, and a strong work ethic through sports. To learn more about the Jim Elder Good Sport Fund, go to www.jimelder.org.
Arkansas Traveler Baseball heads into the top of the fifth inning at Ray Winder Field. It is 1-0 San Antonio, scoring that run in the first without a base hit. That run has stood so far. Stephen Shell, however, has been dominating ever since, giving up those 2 walks in the first inning. He's allowed only 1 base hit. And here in the fifth inning, Adam Jones leads off with a fly ball down the right field line, slicing away from the right fielder Willits, and it bounces in the bullpen for a foul ball. See here, Shell set down 6 in a row until the third inning. Now set down 5 of the last 6. Tom Kaiser, the league president, joining us on the broadcast for the second night in a row. Tom, we were talking about the differences now between AAA and AA, especially in the Royal system. We were talking about the values of franchise.
Right, the values of franchises and new stadiums have put pressure on farm directors to put winning clubs at almost every level.
Pitch high and inside at Jones, 1-1.
And the free agency is also affecting it. So you have farm directors signing players that will help win at AAA, as well as maybe be insurance policies for the major league club.
Shell's 1-1. A fastball swung through and missed by Jones, and it's 1-2. On deck, Luis Oliveros, then Eddie Menchaca. You know, another thing to think about here is Shell winds, delivers the 1-2, and it's down and in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think it used to be that a player in the minor leagues really couldn't make all that good of a living. But now you've got 6-year free agents that can really negotiate their own salary, and they make a decent living at AAA. Jones fouls the 2-2 back. And while they might bounce up from AAA to the majors and come back down, they get a lot of time playing at AAA. They want to stay there. They're not going to the level below. And so they kind of stay there at AAA for a long time.
Well, you know, it used to be AAA guys would earn $3,000 a month. You could earn $100,000 a year now at AAA if you're the right free agent.
Shell's curveball strikes out Jones swinging. Now struck out 3 and begins the 5th with a strikeout. Here's Oliveros coming up. Actually, $100,000 to play AAA baseball.
Well, you know, it's not unheard of. You know, $8,000-$10,000 a month. You're talking about a 5-month season. You could be earning $50,000 even.
Which still it's not chump change right there.
No.
Oliveros fouls a pitch off, and that's just in a 5-month season.
Correct. It is a living now for certain players that have the longevity, desire, ability to stick around at AAA. And then those kind of players are also the ones that are going to go to winter ball on occasion.
Arkansas Al coming over and giving a dap to Tom Kaiser. The 0-1 foul behind the press box, and it's 0-2. How you doing, Al?
It's great to see Tom Kaiser in town.
You and Tom go back a long ways, don't you?
Well, I go back farther than Tom.
Great to see you, Al.
0-2 to Oliveros. Shell's pitch up and in, ball 1. He's still one of the jewels at this ballpark, Tom. You know that. If we could just get him to stay for the 7th inning stretch more than he does.
We'll get that vote passed in 2007, have him inaugurate the new stadium.
1-2 popped back into the press box. 1 ball, 2 strikes still on Oliveros, who grounded out in the 2nd. 1-0 San Antonio on the bottom of the 5th. You know, Tom, the Angels still have the philosophy, I think, that they like to see their players make the steady rise up through the system, single A, double A, triple A. There's only been 2 travelers gone straight up to the majors. Here's a pitch driven high to center. Murphy underneath it with a few steps back, and he puts away Oliveros with a catch in center field. Shell has set down 3 in a row and 7 of the last 8 batters. Now Eddie Menchaca comes up. But I guess it's based upon organization to organization.
That's true. I mean, San Antonio with Seattle, you've seen their shortstop go to AAA and their catcher go to the major leagues. So I think it's an individual organizational decision, obviously, but sometimes it's based on need.
Here's a pitch to Menchaca, and right down the middle for a strike. It took emergency call-ups for the two Travelers to get up to the major leagues from here. Kochman last season, Santana this year, both because of injuries. 0-1 to Menchaca. Curve in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Menchaca has the only base hit off of Shell. A ground ball to the hole at shortstop that got through for a hit back in the third inning. 2 outs, no one on base here in the fifth. And Shell rocks back and deals. The fastball fouled into the upper reaches of the right field seats, and it is 1-2. Pretty much, without that emergency, you're pretty sure that the Angels will send guys up from here to Salt Lake. But with Wichita, every year, 3, 4, 5 players go up from Wichita straight to Kansas City. There's a couple ways to look at it. As Menchaca takes it high, it's 2-2. One, maybe they've got a good system, and they're able to produce players that are ready for the major leagues. On the other hand, it is the Kansas City Royals, and they are a last-place team, and they're trying to see which players can stick up there. 2-2 pitch, foul ball slowly off the third baseline.
Well, you have to think that these guys are pretty well valued. Look at Shane Costa, who's only been up there a short time. Hit his second home run last night. He's hitting .323 or so. And he's one of 5 guys that have passed through Wichita already this year that are with the Royals.
And that's why I kind of wonder when I see Aldridge go up to AAA. The 2-2, another foul ball. I mean, does that mean that Aldridge is in the plans of the Royals, or does it mean that, we just want to send you to AAA now and bring up the next guy to AA? Who knows? 1-0 San Antonio here in the fifth. Stephen Shell throwing outstanding baseball right now. Bobby Livingston out dueling him. 2-2 on the way, and Menchaca fights it off the fists back to the screen. You know, Tom, we talked yesterday about the agreement signed with the Travelers and the city of North Little Rock, and that if the vote goes through on August 9th, it'll be the 6th new ballpark in the league since the turn of the century. You kind of wonder now, with new ballparks all across this league, where's the next new ballpark going to be built? And would there even be one? You got Wichita, they're not going to build a new one. They've renovated Lawrence Dumont to the point where it's a fine place for a ball game. 2-2, a slow chopper towards Porter, charging in, gloves it, here's the throw, got him, having a great game at third base. 3 up, 3 down to the fifth. Bottom 5 coming up, 1-0 San Antonio. This is the CSN Arkansas Traveler Baseball Network.
Junior Banana Split. Sonic's got it, others don't. Right now, treat yourself to Sonic's 99-cent Junior Banana Split. It's almost half the size, but with all the taste, for just 99 cents. Try one today, or to satisfy your late-night cravings, try one tonight. Because Sonic's open till at least midnight all summer long. The 99-cent Junior Banana Split at participating Sonic drive-ins. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Brewery, can I help you?
Hi, I just bought a 6-pack of your beer, and I think there's something missing in it. There's no taste in the beer.
There's no taste.
I was hoping maybe somebody in shipping could send me flavor. Like, I'm not trying. All I want is flavor.
Sure, there's no flavor.
Is there like a flavor distribution center in my neighborhood? I'll pick it up.
No, there's no center.
I'll tell you what. I got some Miller Lights here. That'll do the trick. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a good day.
If you're going to choose on taste, choose the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Miller. Good call.
Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Live responsibly.
Get out today and hit the links. Stone Lakes. Stone Lakes Golf Course is rated as one of the best public courses in the state. Sporting beautiful bent grass greens, plus lush fairways and tees. Stone Lakes has matured over the past 3 years into a true test of golf. Stone Lakes features reasonable green speeds and 18 lake-style holes located 1 mile off I-440 on Faulkner Lake Road. Call 945-0945 for Stone Lakes, or visit online at stonelakes.net.
Still a 1-0 ball game. San Antonio leading the Arkansas Travelers. We go into the bottom of the 5th, and Tommy Murphy leads off against Bobby Livingston. Livingston has allowed 2 hits and a walk. He has whiffed 3 batters. Murphy was the last strikeout for Livingston in the second inning. Shows bunt, popped the bunt up, foul territory, third base side. 1 row into the seats. 0-1 on Murphy. Following Murphy, Greg Porter, then David Gates. Well, Tom, we're talking about the 6 ballparks across the league, and you said, well, it's actually 5 because Round Rock is no longer in the Texas League, being in the Pacific Coast League now.
But that doesn't change the fact that if we get this ballpark in Arkansas, in Little Rock, and North Little Rock in 2007, that 6 ballparks intended for the Texas League will have been built in this decade alone.
Murphy takes a pitch up high. It's 1-1. Now, then the other 2 cities that don't have a new ballpark would be Tulsa and Wichita. The 1-1 on the way from Livingston. Murphy waves and misses over top of that changeup, and it's 1-2.
Well, and actually, I mean, it's hard to say Tulsa's an old ballpark. It was opened in 1981.
If I'm older than the ballpark, then it's still new, fairly
new.
1-2 to Murphy. And a swing and a miss and a high fastball, and Livingston strikes him out for the second time.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, you're talking about a ballpark that is really only 23 years old, 24 years old.
Well, I know that the Drillers are not actively pursuing a new ballpark. They don't really have a reason to. They're not hurting too much attendance-wise, though they are down a little bit this year. But Driller Stadium is a fine facility. The field is in tip-top condition. Here's Greg Porter. Foul ball in the first pitch over the press box, strike 1. Porter singled in the 3rd inning. And now Porter is 4 for 9 in the series.
If I were to be able to wave a magic wand, I would say I'd have that stadium, reduced by maybe 3,000 seats.
0-1 to Porter, and a foul ball on the ground. Looks like he hit it off one of his toes, but seems to be okay. 0-2.
Actually, maybe even 5,000. They've got almost 12,000 seats.
Yeah, it's the largest capacity for any AA ballpark. And even when they have a decent crowd of 4,000 people, it looks empty. And it's also an interesting ballpark because not many minor league parks have more available seating in the second level than in the first level. There's actually not many seats in the first level at Driller Stadium. Here's an 0-2 from Livingston to Porter. And the curve taken low on a check swing. It's ball 1, 1-2. But I guess my point is saying that it just goes through in North Little Rock. It'd probably be a while for a new ballpark in the league. Porter, a line shot to right field, but right to T.J. Bohn. Takes a few steps over towards the corner, and he's out. 2 gone. Bring up David Gates. Now, one other change in the league is there's going to be a new name for the divisions next year. It's East and West this year, and there's really a clear line of delineation between the North and the South. So we're going North and South next year.
Yes, we voted to return to the historic designations of North and South. At one time this league was stretched from Memphis to Albuquerque, so obviously you were going to go East and West.
Pitch to Gates, outside ball 1. But now,
well, we're out of Jackson, we're out of Shreveport, we're out of El Paso, and instead of being an East to West league, we are definitely a North to South.
We go from Wichita down to Corpus Christi as Gates sends a fly ball to deep towards the track in right center. And that's down for a hit. Bounces off the one bank side. Harris plays it perfectly. Here's a throw to second. Gates slides in just ahead of the throw. A double for David Gates.
That was extraordinarily well played by Harris, and his throw was right on the bag, but just missed getting Gates sliding in.
And it's usually you see outfielders that have trouble with the outfield fence here in Little Rock in right field when they don't play many games here, especially a West Division ball club. But Harris, who played a ball off the fence perfectly yesterday, does it again today. Guy knows what he's doing out there. Now Mike Elward will attempt to tie the ball game with Gates leading away from second a pitch. And up high, ball 1. So when you got, what is it from Wichita to Corpus Christi? That's about, if you were driving, that'd be 16 hours, maybe more.
Well, how about Springfield? Even further. Ask our umpires. They've had to do it.
The 1-0 to Elward is low and in. 2 balls, no strikes. By the way, you are the one who decides where the umpires go for each series, right? They know that. You're the one who sends them on those 15-hour tracks. Well, they've got 3 guys. It's good. It's okay. You get them a nice band. Here's a 2-0 to Elwood. And that is under the knees, 3-0.
Sometimes those trips are unavoidable to get guys away from teams. I try and keep umpires away from clubs. If I don't want them there for more than 10 straight days with a team, whether it's starting in one sitting and following them somewhere else, or through a whole homestand. And sometimes you can't avoid a Springfield to Corpus Christi to get those guys with 2 different teams.
3-1 now to Elwood as he took a pitch on the outside edge. Livingston sets. Elwood fouls it back. Still, now it's 3-2.
And I know this crew has a particularly odious stretch coming up where they're going to go from Tulsa to Corpus Christi to Springfield in the space of 4 days.
Wow.
Finish a series in Tulsa, go have 4 in Corpus Christi, and then go to Springfield.
That is definitely rough. 3-2. Elwood swings a line drive left field. Bubela back a couple of steps, and he makes the catch. Travs made their best contact of the ball game. On Porter, Gates, and Elwood, they all got a hold of the pitch pretty squarely, but only 1 base hit out of it, and that base runner Gates stranded at second. 5 innings in the books. Tom Kaiser, thank you very much for your time.
Well, we'll see you when you come to San Antonio.
Looking forward to it. 1-0 Missions. We go to the 6th inning. But first, these words on CSN from Settle Office Products.
When it comes to a full line of office products, the name is Settle Office Products, 4412 MacArthur Drive in North Little Rock. They've been in business on MacArthur Drive for 23 years. They give free delivery anywhere in Central Arkansas. They have office furniture, office supplies, scratch and dent furniture, and they're family owned and operated. Give them a call today at 758-1050 or see them on the website at www.settleofficepro.com.
It has a legendary reputation for reliability, durability, and quality. It's been named to Car and Driver's 10 Best list 18 times. It was the first gasoline-powered production automobile to be certified as a low-emission vehicle in the U.S. And the best part is, it's used. Proof that how you start out in life is a good indication of how far you'll go. Honda certified used cars. See, it may be used, but it's still a Honda.
Vail Honda, 13101 Chenal Parkway, Little Rock.
If you're a fan of sports in Arkansas, then this summer CSN is the place to be, as we'll bring you Arkansas Travelers baseball, Arkansas Twisters football, and Arkansas Archangels basketball. In May, it's the high school baseball and softball tournaments and state championship games. In June, it's the high school all-star games. And in July and August, we'll bring you the American Legion state tournaments and championship games. Sports action all summer long right here on the Creative Sports Radio Network.
As this game goes into the top of the 6th inning, it is still 1-0, San Antonio leading. And Stephen Shell having a fine outing, but still he is burned by those 2 walks back in the first inning, equaling 1 run. A sac bunt and a ground out brought in that 1 run. Starts at the top of the order for the 6th, and here's Jaime Bubela. The left-handed batter takes a pitch up high, ball 1. Shell over 5 innings has struck out 3. Had 1 double play turn. That was Bubela's ground out in the 3rd inning that went 6-4 to 3. A 1-0 pitch. And a swing and a miss by Bubela makes it 1-1. Good fastball. And Bubela couldn't catch up. Shell is throwing hard. Throwing strikes now. Curveball working very well. An occasional off-speed pitch. 1-1 on Bubela. Here is the pitch from Shell. And a follow through and a check swing. And that time Bubela went through. Strike 2. Jesus Guzman and T.J. Bohn will also bat against Shell, who's going for his 4th strikeout now. Shell deals the pitch, and a little low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stephen has had success without a win against San Antonio this year. It's his 3rd start, but he still hasn't picked up a win against the Missions, yet he's allowed only 4 runs in 18 innings of work against them. Pitch outside, and Bubela runs a full count. On April the 30th, Shell lost a 4-2 game to the Missions, allowing just 2 earned runs in 7 innings. Bubela lofts a line drive down the third base line. That's a fair ball. Gates over to cut it off in the bullpen, but Bubela, who runs very well, is at second base with a stand-up double. So Bubela now on a 19-game hit streak with his first base hit of the night. And for the first time since the first inning, the Missions get a runner to second base. Only the second base hit off of Shell, and now he's going up against Jesus Guzman. And we'll see if the Missions use a sacrifice bunt. Already used one today. T.J. Bohn in the first inning helped bring home a run. Morales ready to charge from first base. Here's a pitch to Guzman. He swings and fouls it back, and it's 0-1. See Guzman trying to angle the bat to hit the ball on the ground on the right side of the infield. But instead he fouled it straight back. Shell ready at the letters on the 0-1, squaring around, and a ball bunted towards the first base line. Shell, who fields that position very well, gets to the ball quickly and flips to Morales, who is not on the base, but Morales instead tags out Guzman. Morales charged for that play, and once he saw Shell come over for it, he tried to get back to first as quickly as he could. But Shell, a little quicker than Kendry, was able to get there so quickly that he almost had Morales too far off the base to make the play, but he was able to tag him out. 1-3 goes the sacrifice bunt. So the Missions have a runner at third, Bubela, who flies, and the infield comes in. 1-0 San Antonio. And the Travs laying for an out at the plate. Bohn, the batter, tall and right-handed. Pitch on the way, and the curve is in there at the letters, and Shell is ahead 0-1. Bohn dropped the sac bunt in the first inning and then grounded out to Porter in the fourth. An 0-1 pitch from Shell. A curve in the dirt. Nice slide to the right by Napoli to keep the ball in front of home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. One to nothing. The Missions in front of Arkansas. And threatening again here. Shell's 1-1 on the way to Bohn. And it almost hit him. A fastball far inside. 2 balls and a strike. Shell's had plenty of ground balls in this game. Needs another one here. The 2-1. And the curve lined into right field for a base hit. And Bubela comes home. It's 2-0 San Antonio. Bohn knocks in his 34th of the year with a single to right field. And the Missions out ahead 2-0. Good piece of hitting by Bohn. He waited on Shell's curveball and drives it the other way. His third RBI of the series, and now Nate Espy comes up. Espy is 0 for 2. His ground out in the first inning brought home Bubela for the first time. And then in the fourth, Shell struck him out on 3 pitches. A long pause as Shell now gets the sign and comes set. Here's a pitch. Espy takes a strike, a snap throw by Napoli to first. Bounces off the base and stays off to the left side of the base. And it looked like that throw may have hit Bohn in his hand as he slid towards first. Oh, 0-1 the count. And Bohn feeling some real pain in that right hand. Did Morales step on his hand when he went to cover the base, or did the throw hit him? That would be the hand that Bohn reaches for, his right hand. That's also his throwing hand. So pause in the action as Chris Garosik, the trainer of the Missions, is out to check on him down the first base line. And now Dave Brundage, the manager, comes over from the third base coach's box. Let's check some scores in the major league, some finals. The Dodgers defeated the Padres today 4-2. Jeff Weaver picked up his 7th win of the year. Jose Brazaban saved his 15th. Antonio Perez at his 2nd home run. The Dodgers win brings them within 5.5 of the Padres. Houston over Colorado 7-1. Roy Oswalt won his 10th game of the season. 3 home runs for the Astros. Home runs hit by Craig Biggio, Jason Lane, and Morgan Ensberg. But Biggio was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning, breaking Don Baylor's record of being hit by pitches in a career. 268 times Craig Biggio has been hit by a pitch. Chicago Cubs outlasted Milwaukee in 9 innings, 3-2. Lyle Overbay and Bill Hall hit home runs for the Brewers. Jeremy Brunitz hit his 13th. Toronto defeated Tampa Bay 12-3. Josh Towers won his 6th. Wells and Adams hit home runs. They're still checking on Bond's right hand at the first base area. Boston over Cleveland 5-2. Back-to-back home runs by Doug Mirabelli and Mark Bellhorn in the 6th inning. Tim Wakefield got the win. He's 7-6. Mike Timlin saved his first. Bond stays in the game. It's 0-1 on Nate Espy with 1 out. Bohn the runner at first. A run home here in the 6th inning, and 2-0 is the score with San Antonio in front of the Travelers. Shell, who threw a few warm-ups during the pause, now to the stretch. And the 0-1 to Espy. A pitch out, and it's thrown away to the screen. It bounces towards the dugout at third base. Bond's at second base. Napoli now gets to the baseball. Maybe the signs were crossed up there as Napoli stepped out for a pitch out, and the fastball from Shell was thrown high and inside. Napoli tried to reach back, but had no chance to catch that ball, so it's 1-1. With Bohn at second base on a wild pitch. So possibly some miscommunication with Napoli and Shell leading to that wild pitch, and now the mission's threatening again, and no chance for a routine double play. A stretch and a 1-1 on the way to Espy. The curveball in there on the outside corner, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Espy. Shell with 3 strikeouts. The 1-2 pitch. And a ground ball outside third. Came with a curveball inside to Espy, and he pulls it on the ground. Foul. Kansas City snapped an 8-game losing streak, defeating Minnesota 3-1. Carrasco got the win. McDougal saved his 9th. The Angels now trailing Texas 4-3 in the top of the 6th inning. The Rangers scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning off John Lackey. White Sox and Tigers in the bottom of the 9th inning tied at 3. Paul Konerko hit his 19th home run for the White Sox. Chris Shelton hit his 4th for Detroit. Shell had a quick meeting with Napoli. Now the right-hander back on the mound. Leaning in, ball behind his back in the bare hand. Runner at second, Bohn. A short lead. Callaspo comes over from second base. Now Alberto backs off, and Shell's pitch is fouled away over the first base roof. Philadelphia ahead of the Mets 6-2, bottom 6. Phillies put up 5 runs in the 4th inning. Chase Utley hit his 11th home run. Jose Offerman, who was just brought up from AAA for the Mets, hit his 2nd home run. Atlanta leading Florida 4-2, top 8. Johnson and Jordan homers for the Braves. Encarnacion goes deep for the Fish. Shell checks second 3 times, now throws a 1-2, and Espy fouls that one on the ground towards third. There's Mike Karch, one of the Travelers super fans, who comes to every game in the third base seat, sitting with his wife, fielding the ball and giving it to a kid. That's what makes Karch so special, is that he gives it to a kid. Still 1-2. Espy has fouled off 3 in a row. Shell comes home. And a fastball high and inside. No, strike 3. David Rackley pulls the cord a little late. And Shell strikes him out for the 2nd time. That's strikeout number 4 for Shell. And Espy does not walk away from the batter's area without a few words for Rackley. And now Dave Brundage comes down the third base line and also disagrees with the strike zone of Rackley. Rackley takes off his mask with his hands on his hips, defending his own strike zone, and now Brundage makes his way back towards third. Espy is rather tall at 6'3". That does make his strike zone a little larger than most people's. However, he thought the pitch was up and in, and Rackley disagreed. I think one of the problems there is that Rackley was a little slow calling that pitch. Everybody a little confused before he finally calls it. Now Hurlbeck bats. Shell's curve is low and outside, ball one. Hurlbeck grounded out in the first inning 5-3 and drew a walk in the fourth inning. 1 run home here in the sixth for the Missions. Leadoff double by Bubela, a sac bunt from Guzman, and an RBI single by Bohn. Bohn's at second after the wild pitch, and now with 2 outs and a 1-0 pitch outside to Hurlbeck, ball 2, 2-0. Cardinals in front of Cincinnati in the sixth inning, 7-2. 2 red leg errors aiding the Cardinal cause. Shell behind Hurlbeck, 2-0. Here's a pitch. And a fastball fouled at the plate. Big cut by Hurlbeck, and now it's 2-1. Larry Walker with 2 home runs for the Cardinals. Reggie Sanders hit his 17th. Willie Mo Pena hit number 10 for the Reds. It's a rain out today. Baltimore and the Yankees postponed at Camden Yards, and no makeup date has been set. Here's a 2-1 from Shell, and the curveball grounded off the left side of the mound. Up with it, shortstop Aybar. The throw to first in time, and the sixth inning is over for San Antonio. 1 mission run on 2 mission hits, 1 runner stranded. San Antonio leads it 2-0. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning on the CSN Arkansas Traveler Baseball Network.
Fact. Only Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville offers a 3,000-mile warranty on every used vehicle. Fact. Only Gwatney Chevrolet puts a brand new set of tires on every used vehicle. Fact. Only Gwatney Chevrolet puts a bed liner in every used truck. Fact. Only Gwatney Chevrolet offers a certificate of assurance that every used vehicle is good enough for a mom to drive. Fact. Only at Gwatney Chevrolet will you get the new car smell without the new car price. Fact. Gwatney Chevrolet in Jacksonville is the only place to shop for new and used.
An accident involving a large truck can cause a lot of damage. If you're injured, you need a law firm that knows what they're doing. And while facts differ and results vary, we've got a verdict as large as $12.5 million in a single tractor-trailer case. Put this experience on your side. Call us at Gary Eubanks & Associates. We'll win your case, or you don't owe us a dime.
AmeriPride Services is the linen and apparel company to get your team into a professional uniform program. AmeriPride features a wide range of high-quality custom programs for the manufacturing industry, hospitality and food service, medical or dental uniforms, and professional and executive wear. Call 664-5575 to schedule a presentation with an AmeriPride consultant, also specializing in the finest quality table linens, rental mats, and restroom services. Call 664-5575 for AmeriPride. AmeriPride, the official garment supplier of the Arkansas Travelers.
Bottom of the sixth inning now at Ray Winder Field. It's San Antonio over Arkansas 2-0. Travelers managing 3 hits against Bobby Livingston. They're really starting to hit the ball much harder now. But over the last 5 batters, there have been 4 line drives, and only 1 has evaded one of the outfielders. Kendrys Morales lined out to right to end the 4th inning. Porter and Elward each hit line drives to the corner outfielders in the 5th. The only man to reach, David Gates, who doubled in the 5th inning. Leading off the 6th, Reggie Willits takes a strike. Livingston has struck out 4. He's walked 1. Willits is 0 for 2. Batting from the right side and an 0-1 pitch. Swinging a fly ball left center field. Bubela almost overran it, and he makes a leaping catch. Nice grab by Bubela. Willits is still circling the bases. He thought that ball might have found its way into the gap, but Bubela closes that gap mighty quickly and brings in out number 1. Now Alberto Callaspo comes up to bat. Callaspo 0 for 2 with a comebacker to the mound and a fly to center. And a pitch high and outside from Livingston, ball 1. Callaspo now 0 for 10 in the series. Hitting under 150 against the Missions this year. The 1-0 pitch over the outside edge, 1-1 to Callaspo. Well, with Alberto Callaspo in a slump, Travs need to count on someone else. And a ground ball to short by Callaspo. 2 hops for Jones, and his throw to first base retires Callaspo for the 11th consecutive time in this series. And now with 2 outs, Erick Aybar will come home to the plate. Livingston, without question, is cruising here. He cruised 2 starts ago on the 16th of June through 8 scoreless innings of ball against Midland in a victory. He's worked 8 innings twice, including once against the Travelers. Showing bunt, Aybar was able to bring the bat back just in the nick of time. It's ball 1. Aybar, the Travs' second base hit, a single to left field in the 4th, but then with Mike Napoli batting, he attempted to go to third base from first on a wild pitch and was thrown out. A 1-0 on the way to Aybar. A swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. On May the 5th, back in San Antonio, Livingston pitched 8 innings of ball against the Travs, allowed only 5 hits and 1 unearned run. Aybar shows bunt and fouled that one off, and it's going to go to 1-2. Travs scored their only run of that game on a double by Greg Porter. He was sacrificed at third base, and then when Reggie Willits was at the plate, catcher overthrew the pitcher and allowed the run to come home and score. Pitch up high to Aybar, 2-2. Travs ended up losing that ball game 2-1. Down 2-0 here today. 2-2 to Aybar. And he reaches for the ball, pokes it on the ground. Nice stab by Hurlbeck on a bad hop. The throw to first with the pitcher covering just in the nick of time. Aybar booking down that first base line, but out by a quarter step. 3-1 goes the putout. Ball almost bounced over Hurlbeck's head, but he was able to catch it anyway. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom half of the 6th inning, and we go into the 7th. 2-0 San Antonio. This is the CSN Travelers Radio Network.
Faucets leaking, termites feasting, fishing, tackle, paints and spackle, tubs, jacuzzis, tapes and movies, everything from A to Z. Tile and lumber, tons of plumbers, elevators, coffee makers, radiators, party favors. Take a look and you'll see that your fingers walk into the other book, not the other book. Fences, gates, inline skates, artists, posers, florists, grocers, water coolers, bakers, jewelers, everything from A to Z. Duct tape, landscape, sit-down mowers, dentists, false teeth, uppers, lowers, wholesale, retail, Bombay, white whale. Take a look and you'll see that your fingers walk into the other book. That your fingers walk into the other book, not the other book.
To place your ad at people's fingertips, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
Go your own way with National Car Rental. Take a one-time trip and discover Arkansas. National's great weekend special is just what you need for a trip to the Ozarks. Or get your friends together and rent a minivan to historic Eureka Springs. National offers a wide choice of sizes and styles, from luxury cars to vans and sport utility vehicles. Unlimited mileage rates are available. National Car Rental has 2 convenient locations, Little Rock Airport and North Little Rock at 3919 Park Avenue. See National Car Rental's ad in the yellow pages. Go your own way with National Car Rental.
A reintroduction to one of your close friends. A friend who supported you through many a spring or summer night over the years, and you never have to go searching for him. He's always in the same spot along the third base line. Baseball fans, reintroducing the Ray Winder Field Bleachers. The Bleachers are the place to gather with your other friends to catch exciting Arkansas Travelers baseball. And at just $6 a ticket, there's no place friendlier. Call the Travs at 664-1555 or visit Travs.com.
As we go into the top of the 7th inning, San Antonio still ahead 2-0 over Stephen Shell and the Arkansas Travelers. Shell gives up a run in the first and 1 run in the 6th inning. Still has thrown pretty well today, allowed only 3 base hits. He has walked 3, struck out 4. Here in the 7th inning, facing Gary Harris, who's flied out twice. Left-handed batter takes high and away, ball 1 from Shell. For the Missions, 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. San Antonio has stranded 3. Shell steps back, high leg kick and a 1-0 pitch, swinging a high fly left field. Gates back a few steps. Plenty of room, stops short of the warning track a few feet and makes the catch. And there's 1 out. The totals for the Travelers read: no runs, 3 hits, no errors. And Travs have left 3 runners on base. Be a little action soon in the Traveler bullpen, with Shell nearing his pitch limit. How to get Shell a win against this Mission ball club. It's his 3rd pretty good start against San Antonio, and unless the Travs manage a couple of runs, Shell's going to take a loss. Pitch outside to Adam Jones as he showed bunt. 1-0 the count. Jones grounded out in the 2nd inning 5-3 and then struck out swinging in the 5th. The 1-0. Jones fouls it off the right side in the air, out of play. Now warming up in the bullpen is right-hander Mark O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan threw a couple of warm-up pitches yesterday, but didn't see any game action. 1-1 from Shell off Jones's elbow inside. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the 2-1 from Shell, and Jones almost hit again, high and in, 3-1. Shell getting into the 7th inning here for the first time since June the 5th. 3-1 to Jones, a line drive left field. Gates a few steps towards the foul line, and the left fielder makes the catch. 6 2/3 innings for Shell. Stevens' longest outing of the year was here in Little Rock, April the 30th, in a loss to the Missions where he went 7 innings. Hasn't been able to pitch a full 7 innings in a game since then, but he's 1 out away from doing it here. And Luis Oliveros, the batter, is 0 for 2. Here's Shell's windup in his pitch. Foul ball in the air, popped up. Foul grounds, first base side. Morales runs out of room as the ball ends up out of play. This will be Stevens' last inning with the right-hander O'Sullivan warming up in the bullpen. And that ERA up to 5.38 at the start of the day. And hopefully this start today will get it underneath 5. And 1 on Oliveros. He's 0 for 2. And a fastball hit on the ground towards short. 1 hop, Aybar up with it. The throw across in time, and Shell gets through 7 innings. Very strong innings for Shell, too. 3 up, 3 down in the 7th. Time for the 7th inning stretch. It's 2-0 San Antonio. This is the Creative Sports Radio Network.
Why do people statewide across the state of Arkansas like CSN? Here's Gary Coates, general manager and owner of affiliate KBJT in Fordyce.
Well, I like it because it's Arkansas oriented. You know, the things that that CSN carries are always, from within the state, and for the most part, and it's a real big help to our broadcast schedule.
CSN now in her 27th year.
CSN is now live on the internet at csnsports.com. Click on Live Broadcast in the upper left-hand corner on your homepage for live play-by-play audio, not to mention all other programs CSN produces during the year. Check out our webpage with a list of games today on CSN, the latest scoreboard, and the latest sports headlines at csnsports.com. That's csnsports.com with live coverage worldwide on the internet. csnsports.com, bringing you closer to us than ever before. you're a fan of sports in Arkansas, then this summer CSN is the place to be, as we'll bring you Arkansas Travelers baseball, Arkansas Twisters football, and Arkansas Archangels basketball. In May, it's the high school baseball and softball tournaments and state championship games. In June, it's the high school all-star games, and in July and August, we'll bring you the American Legion state tournaments and championship games. Sports action all summer long right here on the Creative Sports Radio Network.
As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, it's 2-0 San Antonio. And at the top of the hour, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. From Little Rock's Raywinder Field, this is CSN, the Creative Sports Radio Network. Your home for Arkansas Traveler Baseball. Chaos in the bleachers over the last half inning in between the innings. We had a few people singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but a couple others watching a couple of women get escorted out of the ballpark. Young crowd on hand tonight in the bleachers as usual, and let's just say some people weren't watching the game, they were watching proceedings in the bleachers. It's 2-0 San Antonio. Mike Napoli leads off against Bobby Livingston, and he starts with a curve outside. Got to get Napoli on track. He is 0 for 2 today and 1 for 10 in the series. A 1-0 pitch. And Napoli takes it low on a curve. 2 balls, no strikes. Livingston dealing here in the 7th inning. The 9th time he's pitched in the 7th inning this year. And he's up high to Napoli, 3-0. Napoli is fly to right and fouled out. The 3-0 pitch on the way. Takes ball 4 outside, and the leadoff man aboard on Livingston's second base on balls. And now coming up is Kendrys Morales. Morales launched a liner in the 4th inning, but right at the right fielder, T.J. Bohn. And struck out in the second, so Morales 0 for 2. Pitch on the way to Kendry. Swinging a high fly deep center field. Back on it, Harris, and he has a play, and he will make the catch. Ball looked good off the bat, and it settled into a little bit deep center field, not all that deep. 1 away now in the 7th inning, and Tommy Murphy comes up. Kendrys Morales now 0 for 3 after hitting his 3 homers yesterday. Here's Tommy Murphy. Murphy was 4 for 8 in the series coming into tonight's game, but he's gone down on strikes in both of his at-bats. 1 out, runner at first. That's Napoli. Livingston has now pitched 6 1/3 innings, allowing just 3 hits, 2 walks, and striking out 4. Pitch to Murphy. High and outside, 1-0. Travs need a little lightning here in the 7th inning. Livingston has kept the top hitting team in the league pretty much at bay all night. 1-0 pitch to Murphy. Murphy swings and fouls it away. As Napoli was running with that pitch, it's 1-1. However, although the Travs have the highest team average in the league this year, 282, recently they haven't been tagging the ball all that much. Last 10 games, averaging 3.7 runs per game and hitting 235. Been relying a lot on the home run, and today they haven't hit any homers. 1-1 to Murphy. Swinging a topper, chop towards third, coming on Guzman, tries the bare hand and bobbles the ball, drops it. Murphy is safe. There was no throw. It is an infield single for Murphy. Well, now the tying run is aboard. Greg Porter, who has hit the ball hard 2 times, comes up. Porter pulled a ground ball into right field in the 3rd inning, and then in the 5th, he sent a hard line drive directly to Bohn, and he was able to come in a couple of steps and make the catch off to the side of his left knee. And now Porter stands in. An extra base hit could tie this game. Napoli at second, Murphy at first. 2-0 Missions. And one out in the bottom of the seventh. Livingston looking for a pitch on the outside corner, and his pitch is high. And Porter is ahead 1-0. Infield plays for two. Shortstop Jones, second baseman Menchaca. Perfect double play depth. There's a large gap through the hole at short. And the catcher sets up outside. The pitch to Porter is high. There's a throw to second base. Napoli is able to get in underneath the tag. Jones, the shortstop, dropped down to a knee trying to block Napoli's path, but he was able to get the hand in there. 2-0 on Porter. Nobody warming up in the San Antonio bullpen as they're letting their ace take this as far as he can. Livingston gets a look, gets the sign. Here's the 2-0 to Porter. A strike with a changeup over the outside edge, and it's 2-1. You don't see all that many changeups thrown from a lefty to another lefty. That pitch might come low and into him, and Porter likes those pitches low and in. 2-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball, right side. Going after it, Menchaca slides and stops it in short right field. Napoli turns the corner at third. Here's the throw home. He is safe. And Murphy goes to third base. An RBI single for Greg Porter. He's 2 for 3. And Napoli never stopped on his way home. Turned the corner at third and sprinted right towards the plate and was able to score without all that much of a problem. Porter's RBI, his 35th of the year, and now the Travs could tie the game with a fly ball. David Gates will try to tie this game or perhaps give the Travs the lead. Gates a walk in the third and a double in the fifth inning. Right-handed batter, and again the infield will look for a double play. See if Porter is sent on any of these pitches. Here's the pitch, and Porter stays. It's outside to Gates, ball one. Whereas Livingston was getting ahead of most of the hitters in the first 6 innings, he has fallen behind every batter here in the seventh. And a couple of base hits plus a walk. 1-0 the count on Gates. Livingston deals, and Gates takes a strike. Fastball on the inside half of the plate, and it's 1-1. Now 5 base hits for Arkansas. Trailing 2-1. Gates with 40 runs batted in on the year, 1 on the series with a solo homer. A throw to first base to check on Porter, and Livingston almost threw it away. First baseman Hurlbeck had to reach across the runner and pick it out of midair. Gates with a deep breath as he taps both sides of the plate. Wheels the bat back and forth, brings it back, rests it on the shoulder. Livingston's pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup. And now Livingston ahead of Gates, 1-2. Livingston going for the strikeout or to get Gates to hit a ground ball. The stretch on the lefty deals. And it's all the way back to the screen. Here comes Murphy from third. He scores. We're tied. Livingston, who hadn't thrown a wild pitch all year, has thrown 2 wild pitches in this game. And the second wild pitch brings home the tying run. A high fastball over the head of Gates and over the catcher's mitt of Oliveros. On the wild pitch, the go-ahead run goes to second base. Porter now at second. The count 2-2 on Gates. With 1 away. Here's the pitch to David. Swing a ground ball slowly towards short. Bounces off the glove of Jones in the hole at shortstop. Porter, who is running back towards second base in case Jones got to the ball, can advance to third only. So Gates hits a single. None of the base hits in this inning have been hit all that hard. Murphy and Gates with infield singles. Porter's base hit was a perfectly placed ground ball to the hole at second. Now the go-ahead run at third base and an insurance runner at first. And now, for the first time today, San Antonio gets a reliever warming up in the bullpen. Well, yesterday it was the Missions using an inning in the 11th where they scored a run without getting the ball out of the infield, while the Travs have had one ball making out of the infield here in the 7th inning. That was Morales' fly out to center. Since then, Murphy's chopper was dropped at third by Guzman about 3/4 of the way towards home. Porter singled into short right field, and then Gates, after the wild pitch, scores the tying run. It's a little bleeder off the glove of the shortstop, Jones, in that hole. And so Elward now with a chance to give the Travs the lead with a fly ball or a base hit. The pitcher warming up in the San Antonio bullpen is R.D. Spies, who was the winning pitcher on Monday. Travs have come back to tie the game in the 7th inning, and now Stephen Shell is off the hook. Good chance Shell may even be in position to win this one if Elward can bring home a run. Elward today sack bunt and a line out to left. Here's a pitch. Under the knees on a curve, 1-0. Elward 34 RBIs on the season. And Mike has knocked in only 2 in 9 games against the Missions. The lefty Livingston ready, a high set and a 1-0 pitch. There's a strike on a fastball at the letters. 1-1 on Elward. Mike Elward, who lost his everyday starting job to Kendrys Morales. He's part-time as a DH these days. The 1-1 and a strike on the outside corner. 1-2. A ball and 2 strikes on Mike Elward as he looks to give the Travs their first lead of the night. Greg Porter at third and Gates at first. Livingston going for a strikeout. Here's the 1-2, and Elward chops it outside first. He reached for a fastball that Livingston aimed for the outside corner, and Elward finished that swing all the way over the plate. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Third baseman Guzman pretty close to the bag. Middle infielders ready for a double play ball. Catcher sets up right on the outside edge, and the pitch. Elward chops it in the hole. It's short, bounces off the third baseman Guzman. It's into left field. Porter has scored. Gates around second. He goes to third, and Elward knocks him in with an RBI single. 3-2. The Travs now lead. All 3 runs coming in the 7th inning. Porter was right on that baseball and drilled it into the ground about 2 steps off to Guzman's left. He was able to deflect the ball towards the shortstop Jones, but it got past him and into left field. Porter has come home, and it's 3-2 Arkansas. Now there's still runners at the corners. This time it's Gates at third and Elward at first. Willits, the batter, gets a little instruction from the manager, Tom Gamboa, with some signs. And we'll see what goes on here. Willits 0 for 3 today. Bunted out to the pitcher's mound of the first. Popped up to short in the third and fly to left field in the 6th. Guzman comes a step in on the grass at third base. The middle infielder still a double play depth, but playing a couple of steps in. There's a throw to first base by Livingston to check on Elward, and he's back in there on his feet. 3 runs on 4 base hits and a walk here in the 7th inning. And none of the base hits have really gone all that far out of the infield. Now Livingston sets and comes home, and Willits takes low, ball 1. RBIs in the inning for Porter and Elward. Porter knocked home the first one with a base hit that was smothered by Menchaca, the second baseman, in short right field. Another pitch, the tying run, scored on a wild pitch from Livingston, and then Elward knocks in the go-ahead run. Catcher Oliveros stepped in front of the plate and relayed signs to the infielders. See how they play this. Still the same. Halfway in, the 2-0. That was a 1-0 pitch. And that one was inside to Willits. 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes on Willits. Willits was in the same situation back in the third inning with runners at the corners and 1 out and couldn't deliver. Here's a pitch hit hard to short. Up with it, Jones. Takes it to second, 1 out. Throws to first, and double play ends the 7th inning. Well, Willits couldn't hit that ball any harder. So a double play ends the 7th. However, the Travs rally with 3 runs on 4 base hits. No errors, 1 runner left, and after 7 innings, it's the Travs that have the lead. 3-2. Into the 8th we go after these words on CSN from the Air Force.
The Air Force is the only branch of service with its own community college. It's called the Community College of the Air Force, and it makes a difference. You see, in the Air Force, you earn college credit for learning your job. You can earn an associate's degree in one of 66 career fields. Your job experience goes farther in the Air Force. For more information, call 1-800-423-USAF or log on at airforce.com. Cross into the blue with the U.S. Air Force. No one comes close.
In the Texas League All-Star Game in 1977, on August the 4th of that year, the All-Star Game was played at Ray Winter Field in Little Rock between the Arkansas Travelers and the Texas League All-Stars. You would think that the Texas League All-Stars would have the better hand of the Arkansas Travelers, but through 2 innings, it was the All-Stars leading 1-0. The All-Stars batted in the top half of the 3rd inning. Coming to the plate was El Paso catcher Pat Kelly, and this is what happened, described by the All-Star play-by-play voice that year, Jim Elder of Little Rock.
Marvin Webb, one of the utility men, is coaching at first base. Rogers, the manager, at third. The pitch. There's a drive to left field, hit pretty good. Lentine going back. He looks up. That ball is over the fence, a home run. So Pat Kelly has homered over the left field fence between the foul line and the scoreboard, and it's 2-0. And both the home runs have been by El Paso players. Kelly, who had hit 10 in the regular season, none against the Travelers, and his 3 teammates on the All-Star team got out there first to greet him. That was Carney Lansford, Bob Slater, and Gil Kubsky.
That made the score 2-0 in the 3rd inning. 2 Gil Kubsky home runs with a Pat Kelly home run put the All-Stars on top 5-0. Arkansas scored a run in the ninth, but it wasn't enough as the Texas League All-Stars won the 1977 Texas League All-Star Game at Ray Winter Field in Little Rock by the final score of 7-1 over the Arkansas Travelers. And that's tonight's Texas League All-Star Flashback, brought to you by American Gold and Silver.
We have played 7 innings, and for the first time today, the Arkansas Travelers have a lead over the Missions, 3-2 the score. Phil Elson with you on the play-by-play. We've had our first Trav pitching change of the night. Marco Sullivan has been brought out of the bullpen, replacing Stephen Schell for the 8th inning. Schell in line for the win after scattering 3 hits and allowing just 2 runs over 7 innings. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Went without a home run allowed for the first time in 4 starts. Great job today by Schell. Eddie Menchaca leads off the 8th inning at 1 for 2, and O'Sullivan delivers from the stretch up and in. The numbers on O'Sullivan, he has turned his season around. He's 1-1 with a .553 earned run average, but has only allowed 2 earned runs in his last 13 innings. 1-0 to Menchaca. Swinging a high fly ball, deep right field. Willits back at the track, leaping, and he couldn't catch it. It's off the fence, and Menchaca pulls up at second base with a double. Menchaca, who hadn't played in the last 5 games, is 2 for 3. That's only his 2nd extra base hit of the season, a double. So the Mission's in business, as every team has been against the Travs in the 8th inning over the previous week. The 8th inning has been the come-back-to-earth inning for the Travs the last 4 games. Yesterday, Travs allowed 5 runs in the 8th inning, taking a 3-run lead and turning it into a 2-run deficit. On Monday, Travs led by 1 and gave up a tying run in the 8th. On Saturday, and Sunday, the Travs and the Hooks had 0-0 going into the 8th inning, and Corpus Christi scored a run. The day before that, Corpus Christi scored 7 runs in the 8th inning to go on for a 10-8 win. Jaime Bubela bats here and pops a pitch out of play from O'Sullivan. It's 0-1. So that's a grand total of 14 runs over the 8th inning over the last 4 games. And opponents batting .615 during those 4 games in the 8th inning. Bubela 1 for 2, doubled his last time up, a lefty. Here's a pitch from O'Sullivan, and Bubela takes outside. He hasn't squared around a bunt yet. Greg Porter still playing for a bunt, in at third a few steps. Now he is backed off of the grass. And the stretch by O'Sullivan, and a 1-1 pitch to Bubela. Swing a high bouncing ball right side. Callaspo plays it, throws to third, and a tag out at third baseman. Chaka's meat. Callaspo takes that high chopper on the second bounce and puts a perfect throw to Porter. Huge play. 4-5 goes the out at third base, and the fielder's choice for Bubela puts him at first. Usually, if there's a ground ball on the right side with a runner at second, he's going to advance to third without a problem, but the ball was hit pretty hard, and it was hit closer to second base than to first base. Plus, Callaspo played it aggressively and gave a perfect throw. So now the tying run is at first base rather than second, and there's one away. Jesus Guzman, the batter, takes up and in, ball 1. That is the kind of play that the Travs have been missing in the field during these last 4 games. Yesterday, Greg Porter had trouble with 2 ground balls and couldn't turn the plays in the 8th inning. If he made either of those plays, perhaps that rally doesn't come through. A 1-0 to Guzman inside 2-0. The day before that, on Monday in the 9th inning, Aaron Pullen had a wild throw and a sacrifice bunt that led directly to the winning run for the Missions. And on Saturday, in the 7-run rally for San Antonio, there was an error by the shortstop, Aybar. So the pitchers have given up a lot of runs. There's also been some misplayed ground balls, and that has also helped out Traveler opponents. But Callaspo and Porter come through with a clutch play there. 1 out. Guzman walks, strikeout, sacrifice bunt today. And a 2-0 pitch with Bubela running. A swing and a miss. Here's the throw to second on the money, and Bubela is out at second base. Napoli throws him out. Only the 5th time on the season that Bubela has been caught stealing. And it takes the best throwing catcher in the Texas League to do it, Mike Napoli. The 47th runner Napoli has caught stealing in 84 attempts. That is well over 50%. 2-6 goes the out at second base. 2 outs on the bases here in the 8th, and O'Sullivan. 2-1 on Guzman. Here's a pitch. And it's low, ball 3. 3-1. O'Sullivan comes home with a 3-1 pitch, and it's fouled off over the right side of the ballpark, out of play. 2 clutch defensive plays in the 8th inning. Callaspo throwing out Menchaca at third base after the double. And Jaime Bubela caught stealing at second by Mike Napoli. And now O'Sullivan is a strike away from getting us into the bottom of the 8th. Here's the 3-2. It is low, and he walks him. So Guzman takes his second walk of the day and brings up T.J. Bohn. Bohn has been clutch in the 8th inning for the Missions. Both games of this series, he's delivered an RBI base hit in the 8th. Game-tying double on Monday in the 8th inning, which was hit off of Matt Wilhite, and then yesterday off Daniel Davidson. Knocked home a run with a ground ball single down the third base line. Now the tying run at first for Bohn, and O'Sullivan trying to reverse the situation here. A fastball under the knees And it is 1-0 to Bohn. Today, Bohn is 1 for 3. 1 for 2. Sack bunt in the first inning. Grounded out to third base in the fourth. And knocked home a run in the sixth inning with a line drive base hit to right field. Out to the mound, Napoli. A quick chat for O'Sullivan. Travs 3, Missions 2. Bought a top 8. And the Travs looking to stop a 4-game losing streak heading into the off day tomorrow. O'Sullivan sets at the letters. The 1-0 pitch to Bohn. A swing and a foul into the dugout at third. O'Sullivan has been so much finer with his pitches these days. He's no longer coming right down the middle. Fastballs on the inside and outside edge. Plus, he's added a little bit of a jerkiness to his delivery. Turns his back towards the first base dugout when he delivers. Become much more effective. Bohn stepped out of the box a quick second. Now back in after smoothing the dirt out. Runner at first, Guzman. A short lead. Only about 3 steps. The pitch from O'Sullivan. Outside. Ball 2, 2-1. Porter playing deep at third, about 5 steps off the line. Morales holding Guzman at first. Outfield is straight away, a little deeper and right. The 2-1, a soft liner right to Aybar, and he's got it. And for the first time in 5 games, the Travelers keep an opponent from scoring in the 8th inning, and that's the perfect time to do it. 1 hit for the Missions in the 8th, 1 runner stranded, 2 outs on the bases. Travs lead at 3-2. We go to the bottom of the 8th on the CSN Traveler Radio Network.
As an aircraft avionics technician, I repair just about any electronic component on the airplane.
Jared Lampkin earned a Bachelor of Applied Science degree in Electronics Engineering Technology in 2003 and an Associate of Applied Science degree in 2002 from the ITT Technical Institute in Birmingham, Alabama.
My bachelor's from ITT Tech is a really well-respected degree. The school has a lot of hands-on teaching, and it's a really nice atmosphere.
At ITT Technical Institute, you can pursue skills that can be used to help you prepare for a new career or create opportunities in your current field. Call 1-800-ITT-TECH. That's 1-800-ITT-TECH, or visit us on the web at www.itt-tech.edu to investigate a campus nearest you. Find a potential new path to your future at ITT Tech.
I want to move higher, get everything I can, fly my own plane.
ITT Technical Institute. Education for the future.
I never wanted a Coke so bad in my life, like the time I took this really hot girl to a scary movie. I just finished the entire tub of popcorn, extra salt, and my date had just finished her Coke. Which she could have offered me some of, considering I did pay for it, but whatever. So, I'm sitting there and my mouth is like a sawbuck when she gives me the look, but there's no way I could kiss her. I gotta tell you, I would have done anything to have a Coke at that moment. They say the best lessons are hardest learned. I say don't date a girl who won't share her Coke. Coca-Cola. Make it real.
The Missions have made their first pitching change of the night. Bobby Livingston out of the ballgame after 7 innings. And the new pitcher is R.D. Spees. Spees picked up the win on Monday and now is on for his second game of the series. Spees, a right-hander at 6'3", 25 years old, from Grand Island, Nebraska. And Spees will be working to the number 2 batter, Alberto Callaspo. Slides over to the left side. Switch hitter takes a ball up and in from Spees, 1-0. Spees in his 7th game of the Missions. A 1-0 pitch grounded up the middle, going after second baseman Menchaca, and it's into center field, and Alberto Callaspo has his first hit of the series. He is aboard after going hitless in his first 11 at-bats with a leadoff single in the 8th inning. Travs have now recorded 5 hits ever since the start of the 7th inning. They had only 3 base hits going into the 7th against Livingston. Livingston gave up all 3 runs in the 7th inning. They're all earned. He allows 7 hits, walked 2, And he struck out 4 in line for the loss. Also threw his first 2 wild pitches of the year. Erick Aybar, the batter. The third baseman, Guzman, coming up. Callaspo's already been checked on once at first base. Now he takes a lead. Warming up in the Traveler bullpen is Aaron Pullen. Spies throws the first again, and Callaspo dives in ahead of the throw. Spies 1-0, 1 save with San Antonio, a 0.96 ERA. That's only 1 run in 9 1/3 innings. 5 hits. 2 of those hits came in an inning and 2/3 on Monday. Picked up the win against the Travs. Aybar is 1 for 3. Now batting left-handed. He had a single in the 4th. Here's a pitch out, and Callaspo holds. Settling back into the batter's box is Aybar. And Spies comes to the set position. The pitch, a swing and a hot shot to second. Up with it is Menchaca onto Jones for 1 out, and the relay, a double play. Second double play bounced into over the last 3 hitters. First one went 6-3. This one goes 4-6-3. So 2 outs now, and the base is empty for Mike Napoli. When the Missions come to bat in the 9th inning, looks like it'll be against Aaron Pullen. They'll have Nate Espy, Jesse Hurlbeck, and Gary Harris batting. Napoli 0 for 2. The pitch on the way, and it is low, ball 1. Napoli keyed the Travs' 7th inning rally with a leadoff walk. Scored the first run on a base hit by Greg Porter. 3-2, Travs in front. Spies comes home with a slider, and Napoli fouls it off the right side. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike on Napoli. 2 outs, nobody on base. And the pitch is up on the strike zone at the letters. 1-2. Napoli only 1 for 10 in the series. Took that big leadoff walk, however, in the 7th inning today. The 1-2. Swing and a miss on a high fastball, and Napoli strikes out to end the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. Aaron Pullen starts to walk out of the bullpen. He'll come on to try to close this game in the 9th inning. Arkansas 3, San Antonio 2. This is the CSN Travs Radio Network.
Tired of dealing with peeling, cracking, chipping paint, drafty houses? Then call Royal Windows and Siding right now. They can wrap your home in a blanket of insulation and add the Grand Sierra siding from Alcoa. It's the only siding with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Call in now for special savings from Royal Windows and Siding. Never paint again. Call about the Grand Sierra siding at 1-800-760-1419. Call Royal now at 1-800-760-1419.
Great food. Many of you are now watching those carbs, and although the Pig and Chick menu has always offered great low-carb items, there's now a special low-carb menu featuring items with the same great taste Pig and Chick is famous for. Of course, you'll still find those great Pig and Chick ribs, barbecue sandwiches, catfish, gourmet sandwiches, chicken, steaks, and more. Bring the whole family for a relaxing dinner. In a hurry? Get it to go. Pig and Chick, 7824 Highway 107 in Sherwood. Open 10:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday.
It happens every time you open the door at Moe's Southwest Grill. Mo wants you to feel welcome, so every time you open the door. But that's not the reason people open Moe's door. It's because Mo knows burritos. And because Mo is fanatical about fresh food. You won't even find a freezer there because Mo makes everything from scratch. People open the door because Mo knows salad. And because you get to watch as your meal is made to order right in front of you in just a few minutes. And Mo knows quesadillas. So bring a friend, bring the whole family. But if you don't mind, when you do come into Moe's Southwest Grill, please only open the door once.
Time to close out a 4-game losing streak. Top of the 9th inning. Travs 3, Missions 2. Aaron Pullen on to try to close this one out. And he faces the 4, 5, and 6 batters, SB, Hurlbeck, and Harris. Pullen has saved 4 games this year, but he's taken a loss in each of his last 2 outings. Here's a pitch to SB, and it is inside of the right-handed hitter. SB 0 for 3, knocked in San Antonio's first run with a ground down in the first inning. Since then, 2 strikeouts, both against the starter and pitcher of record, Stephen Shell. Here's Pullen's 1-0 pitch. SB swings, ground ball, base hit into left field. So the leadoff batter aboard for the Missions. They've had the leadoff man reach 4 previous innings, scoring him twice. Now Jesse Hurlbeck will come up to hit. You don't expect a sacrifice bunt from Hurlbeck. And the season, Hurlbeck has not sacrificed a runner over yet. 9 home runs on the year and 45 RBIs, but today he's 0 for 2 and 2 for 11 on the series. Pulling to the stretch, and a pitch to Hurlbeck. A swing and a ground ball to short. Aybar up with it. Here's a throw to second, 1 out. And it's dropped by Callaspo. They do get the out at second base, but only the out at second. Fielder's choice to the shortstop. 6-4, the out at second. The only way that they could have turned that double play was because it was Hurlbeck running, and he does not run well. Callaspo lost the ball transferring it out of his glove. There's going to be a pinch runner in for Hurlbeck. And the pinch runner, let's see here, is Eric Blakely, pinch running it at first base. Blakely comes on to pinch run, and now Gary Harris will bat. He's 0 for 3. From a stretch, a pitch from Pullen. And that's under the knees, ball 1. 3 flyouts for Harris. This is the guy who has scored the winning run in each of the last 2 games. Scored the winning run for the Missions 9th inning on Monday. Scored the winning run in the 11th inning yesterday. And Pullen sets under the belt. A 1-0 on the way. Swing a ground ball. Morales at first takes it. Here's a wheel and a fire to second. 1 out the relay. Not in time. Almost turned a 3-6-3 double play, which would have ended the game, but Harris beats the relay throw. 3-6 at second base. And the Missions have cut this one awfully close with a couple of almost double plays in the 9th inning. Adam Jones comes up to bat. Jones 0 for 3. Jones has grounded to third, struck out swinging, and lined out to left field. 2 for 10 in the series. Pullen trying to end this series right here. The runner at first, Harris, represents the tying run. Good lead. Pullen from the stretch, he throws to first, and Harris is back in, standing up. Harris has attempted 14 steals this year. He's been caught 9 times. And Mike Napoli has already caught 1 runner stealing last inning. Here's a pitch. And it's in there at the letters. Strike 1. The Missions led 2-0 going to the bottom of the 7th, and the Travs answered with a 3-run rally. Marco Sullivan pitched a scoreless 8th. Now Pullen looking to close it out. An 0-1. Fouled straight back, and it's 0-2. And this losing streak may be down to its last strike. Pullen waiting for the batter to step back in, and Jones is ready. So is Pullen as he comes set. Harris fakes the steal, the pitch in the dirt, and Napoli blocks it, and now runner holds. Pullen went with a split-fingered. It hit in front of the plate, and Napoli, as he's done all season, aggressively goes after it, and he keeps the ball in front of home. 1-2 the count on Jones. Here's Pullen's pitch. A ground ball towards Porter, hugging the line, and it is foul. Pullen came inside with that fastball, right in the hands of the hitter. This count remains 1-2. 2 outs, top 9. Pullen taking his time. He is ready, and the right-hander throws over to first. Harris is back in again on his feet. Here's the stretch by Pullen. Harris runs on the 1-2. Check swing, the throw to second. Right on the money, and he is out at second base. Napoli ends the game catching Harris stealing. Mike Napoli catches both runners attempting to steal in the 8th and 9th innings, sealing the deal, and the Travs win 3-2. And you can put it in the books. Coming up next, we'll have the totals. But first, these words on the CSN Traveler Radio Network.
Have fun with your family tonight. Whether you're planning a meal before the game or snacks for the game, remember to include milk, cheese, and yogurt in the game plan. 3 servings a day of dairy is the right amount to help keep your body healthy. It's easy. Just look for the 3-a-day logo on your favorite calcium-rich dairy foods at your local retailer. For more information, including recipes and coupons, visit www.3aday.org. Have you had your 3 a day today? The power of cheese.
Brewery, can I help you?
Hi, I just bought a 6-pack of your beer, and I think there's something missing in it. There's no taste in the beer.
There's no taste.
I was hoping maybe somebody in shipping could send me flavor. Like, I'm not trying. All I want is flavor.
Sure, there's no flavor.
Is there like a flavor distribution center in my neighborhood? I'll pick it up.
No, there's no center.
I'll tell you what. I got some Miller Lights here. That'll do the trick. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a good day.
If you're going to choose on taste, choose the light beer that actually tastes like beer. Great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Miller. Good call.
Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Live responsibly.
Hey, Pete, you having some tots?
Yeah, man, fueling up for the big game.
Mm-hmm. I've been working on my trash talking.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me hear some.
Okay. Oh, what's up? You think you're going to make more basketball points on the basketball court with shooting the basketball through the basketball rim than me? Well, check it out. We'll see about that, brah.
Pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, sweet and long.
Sonic. Nothing goes better with sports.
Hey, nobody said quitting smoking was easy, but others have done it, and you can too, with help from the SOS Quit line, 1-866-NOW-QUIT. They'll give you the help you need to kick the tobacco habit. It's free, and it's free of nagging and preaching too. So call 1-866-NOW-QUIT and get the help you need. What have you got to lose, besides the most dangerous habit you've ever had? 1-866-NOW-QUIT. Call now.
The third base coach. He doesn't get me, but the best coach you have you. But he's vital to the success of the team. His experience and knowledge of the game can mean the difference between scoring a run. All teams play a similar role to the third base coach. They have experience with much more than just home. They can help with auto insurance, life insurance, and your retirement needs as well. And they'll do it without using any crazy signals. They'll help you understand the coverage options available so you can find the one that's right for you. You deserve a team with big league experience. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
To get a team with big league experience, just visit your local Allstate agent, call 1-800-ALLSTATE, or click on allstate.com. Insurance subject to availability and qualifications. Allstate Insurance Company, Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company, and Allstate Indemnity Company, Northbrook, Illinois.
They're getting ready for the fireworks display here at Ray Winter Field, and once they finally set it off, we'll be turning that crowd microphone all the way down. It's virtually impossible for you to hear me with those fireworks going off. Phil Elson with you here on the play-by-play. The Travs have defeated the San Antonio Missions 3-2, and here are the unofficial final totals. San Antonio scores 2 runs on 5 hits with no errors and 4 runners left. The Arkansas Travelers post 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 4 runners left. The winning pitcher, Stephen Shell, finally beats the Missions in his 3rd try, and he had a great game. His record now 5-5. Losing pitcher is Bobby Livingston, and he falls to 7-4. Aaron Pullen comes on to save his 5th. Time of game, 2 hours, 27 minutes. The paid attendance tonight, 3,132. Travs break the 4-game losing streak and also have now broken a losing streak against the Missions. They've lost 5 straight to San Antonio. Travs 3-4 in the second half and 37-40 overall. San Antonio falls to 5-2, and overall they are 43-34. Coming up next, the Allstate Insurance post-game report. This is Arkansas Traveler Baseball on the Creative Sports Radio Network.
Arkansas Traveler Baseball on the CSN Radio Network was brought to you by the ITT Technical Institute online at itt-tech.edu. By Coca-Cola, make it real. By Miller Lite, prevent taste loss with Miller Lite. And by Allstate, you're in good hands with Allstate. And by the Sonic Drive-In. Arkansas Traveler Baseball has been brought to you statewide on the Creative Sports Radio Network by Bale Honda. See the new Honda cars and trucks today. By the U.S. Air Force, crossing to the blue. The Bank of the Ozarks with several locations to serve you. And by the Canadian Tax Advisory Group. Arkansas Traveler Baseball has been a presentation of CSN, the Creative Sports Radio Network. Stay tuned next for the Traveler Postgame Show. Right here on CSN, the Creative Sports Radio Network.
Over there's the water. Whoosh, whoosh. And look at all this stuff I'm standing on. It's called sand, and it's everywhere.
This woman may sound silly to you and me.
It's made up of little tiny pieces of rocks. Teeny little pieces of rocks.
But to her 2-year-old son exploring the world around him, she makes perfect sense.
How does it feel when you touch the sand? Is it warm? Uh-huh. It's hard to hold in your hand, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
Learning starts long before school does, and children are naturally curious. They want to learn, so follow their lead. Take simple, everyday moments, like sorting laundry or playing on the beach, and turn them into learning moments.
Is this water? No. Very good. This is sand. Oh, no, it's not food. It's sand. We don't eat sand.
Turn everyday moments into learning moments. Find out how at foreignlearning.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
The following is a message from George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton.
We're here today because, like you, we share a strong desire to do everything we can to help alleviate the terrible suffering caused by the recent tsunami disaster.
Millions of people have lost loved ones, including children, homes, and in some cases, hope. And though it happened on the other side of the world, it touches our hearts, and we want to help.
The greatest source of America's generosity is the good heart of the American people. And that's why we come to you, not as presidents, but as 2 private citizens.
Everyone can help, and every dollar contributed will impact someone's life. So visit usafreedomcorps.gov to choose a reputable charity to accept your donations directly. You can trust that your contribution will be well spent.
No one can change what happened,
but we can all change what happens next. Thank you.
To make a cash donation to a reputable charity, visit usafreedomcorps.gov. A PSA brought to you by the Ad Council.
The Allstate Insurance Arkansas Traveler Postgame Show is brought to you by Allstate Insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Well, the 3,132 that paid to come to the ballpark today not only saw an outstanding baseball game with a win by the Arkansas Travelers, but they also see a fine fireworks display, which is now going off out in center field. Ray Winter Field, the only ballpark that I know of that sets off their fireworks on the field. And look really good up above center right now. Phil Elson with you here for the Allstate Insurance postgame report. Let's get to our game recap. It started off poorly for Stephen Shell and the Travs. didn't have his command in the first inning, walked the first 2 batters of the game on 9 pitches total. And then in the next batter, T.J. Bohn sacrificed the runners up. Bubela came home from third base on a ground out by Nate Espy, but Shell would be quite stingy after that. Shell, for the rest of the way, would only allow 3 base hits. He allowed 2 more walks on the night. And the Travs, however, were down 2-0 after the 6th inning. Jaime Bubela doubled to start the 6th inning down the left field line. A sac bunt push into third, and a base hit by T.J. Bohn brought Bubela home, and it was 2-0 San Antonio. However, the Travs would answer in the 7th. Bobby Livingston, the starting pitcher for the Missions, allowed just 3 base hits and 1 walk through 6 innings. But then in the 7th, he issued a leadoff 4-pitch walk to Mike Napoli. After an out, Tommy Murphy hit a bouncing ball slowly down the third base line. Guzman came in and tried to barehand the ball, but he couldn't field it cleanly, and Murphy was safe at first on an infield single. Then Greg Porter pulled the ground ball between first and second base for an RBI base hit, bringing Napoli home, and it was 2-1 Missions. Bobby Livingston, who had thrown his first wild pitch of the season back in the 4th, threw another wild pitch that sent Murphy home from third base, putting the game tied at 2. Porter went from first to second on the wild pitch, and then went to third when David Gates hit a little bleeder through the hole at shortstop for another base hit. Mike Elwood would provide the game-winning hit with a smash that was bounced off the third baseman's glove and into left field, and that made it 3-2. The Missions threatened in the 8th and in the 9th. A leadoff double by Menchaca starting the 8th inning off Marco Sullivan. But then when Jaime Bubela bounced to second base, Alberto Callaspo threw Menchaca trying to advance to third. And then Bubela caught stealing at second. That was also the way the game ended in the 9th inning. Nate Espy led off with a base hit. Couple of fielders' choices made it 2 outs, and then Gary Harris caught stealing at second base by Napoli, and that ended the ball game. Travs win it 3-2, ending a 4-game losing streak, and they make the fans happy here at home, and that's the right way to go into an off day tomorrow. No game, and so they've got a win to think about before starting a series in Tulsa on Friday night. Travs win 3-2. We'll check around the Texas League next on the Southwest Airlines Sports Ticker. This is the CSN Travelers Radio Network.
He doesn't get much attention. You've never heard of a third base coach groupie, have you? But he's vital to the success of the team. His experience and knowledge of the game can mean the difference between scoring a run or getting thrown out at the plate. Allstate agents play a similar role to the third base coach, although they have experience with much more than just home. They can help with auto insurance, life insurance, and your retirement needs as well. And they'll do it without using any crazy signals. They'll help you understand the coverage options available so you can find the one that's right for you. You deserve a team with big league experience. That's Allstate's stand. Are you in good hands?
To get a team with big league experience, just visit your local Allstate agent, call 1-800-ALLSTATE, or click on allstate.com. Insurance subject to availability and qualifications. Allstate Insurance Company, Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company, and Allstate Indemnity Company, Northbrook, Illinois.
Junior Banana Split. Sonic's got it, others don't. Right now, treat yourself to Sonic's 99-cent Junior Banana Split. It's almost half the size, but with all the taste, for just 99 cents. Try one today, or to satisfy your late-night cravings, try one tonight. Because Sonic's open till at least midnight all summer long. The 99-cent Junior Banana Split at participating Sonic drive-ins. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Listen up, people. It's time to blow the whistle on taste loss. Taste loss happens when you can't taste your beer, and it's seriously traumatic. The process usually happens in 4 stages. The first stage, shock.
Oh, no, you can't taste your beer.
The second stage, denial.
I can taste my beer.
The third stage, anger.
Why is this happening to me?
And finally, the last stage, acceptance.
I can't taste my beer.
Blow the whistle on taste loss. Pick up a great-tasting, less-filling Miller Lite with half the carbs of Bud Light. Seriously, get the memo. Miller Lite has more taste than Bud Light. Get the facts at PreventTasteLoss.com.
Per 12 ounces, Miller Lite has 96 calories, 3.2 grams of carbs, 0.9 grams of protein, and 0 grams of fat. Bud Light has 6.6 grams of carbs. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Live responsibly.
Travs winners today by a score of 3-2 over San Antonio. Our fireworks display continuing to blow out of control out in center field. Well, I won't say out of control. The fireworks are very much in control. I'll turn down that crowd microphone, otherwise you're not going to be able to hear the Southwest Airlines out-of-town sports ticker. We've got one final and 2 games in progress in the Texas League. Games in progress right now. It's Wichita and Midland tied 3-3. Game in the bottom of the 8th inning at Midland. Game in Springfield. It's 6-1 Cardinals over Corpus Christi. 2 homers for the Cardinals. Aaron Herr and Zoko Hio. Never seen this guy before. Zoko Hio, his name. First home run was Springfield. Her hit is 11. And the final score is the Tulsa Drillers 5 and the Frisco Rough Riders 1. Tulsa wins the final 2 games of that series. Sandy Neen got the win, is 2-4. Sean Barker hit his 8th home run for the Drillers. And John Danks fell to 2-2, the losing pitcher for Frisco. Coming up next, we'll check the Major League Sports ticker right after these words on CSN from Settle Office Products.
When it comes to a full line of office products, the name is Settle Office Products, 4412 MacArthur Drive in North Little Rock. They've been in business on MacArthur Drive for 23 years. They give free delivery anywhere in Central Arkansas. They have office furniture, office supplies, scratch and dent furniture, and they're family owned and operated. Give them a call today at 758-1050 or see them on the website at www.settleofficepro.com.
Durability and quality. It's been named to Car and Driver's 10 Best list 18 times. It was the first gasoline-powered production automobile to be certified as a low-emission vehicle in the U.S. And the best part is, it's used. Proof that how you start out in life is a good indication of how far you'll go. Honda certified used cars. See, it may be used, but it's still a Honda.
Vail Honda, 13101 Chenal Parkway, Little Rock.
The Air Force is the only branch of service with its own community college. It's called the Community College of the Air Force, and it makes a difference. You see, in the Air Force, you earn college credit for learning your job. You can earn an associate's degree in one of 66 career fields. Your job experience goes farther in the Air Force. For more information, call 1-800-423-USAF or log on at airforce.com. Cross into the blue with the U.S. Air Force. No one comes close.
If you're a fan of sports in Arkansas, then this summer CSN is the place to be, as we'll bring you Arkansas Travelers baseball, Arkansas Twisters football, and Arkansas Archangels basketball. In May, it's the high school baseball and softball tournaments and state championship games. In June, it's the high school all-star games, and in July and August, we'll bring you the American Legion state tournaments and championship games. Sports action all summer long right here on the Creative Sports Radio Network.
The Major League scores are brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline for the Arkansas Travelers. The Los Angeles Angels and the Texas Rangers are now tied 6-6 in the top of the 9th inning. Rangers held a 2-run lead, but Dallas McPherson hits a pinch hit, 2-run home run with 2 outs off Coco Cordero, which sends the game into the bottom of the 9th inning, tied at 6 apiece. Give you the other games in just a second here. We've got the Seattle Mariners trailing Oakland 4-2 in the top of the 4th inning. Chicago White Sox have taken a lead in the 13th at Detroit 4-3. And the other game's finals, there was a rain out today. The Yankees and the Orioles were rained out. They have not been able to make up or decide a makeup date for that game. Currently, after a rain delay, Pittsburgh and Washington tied 2-2 at D.C. in the bottom of the 5th inning. They're in the 12th in Florida, and the Braves and the Marlins tied at 4. San Francisco leads the Diamondbacks 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Now to the final scores. St. Louis waste Cincinnati 11-3. 4 home runs for the Cardinals. Larry Walker hit 2 home runs. Reggie Sanders and Jim Edmonds also hit home runs. Matt Morris picked up his 9th win against just 1 loss, while Ramon Ortiz falls to 3-6. Willie Mo Pena went deep for the Reds. Philadelphia doubles up the Mets 6-3 at Shea Stadium. The Phillies ran a 5-run inning in the 4th off the losing pitcher Kaz Ishihi, who falls to 2-7. Winning pitcher Corey Lytle is 7-6. Mets get home runs from Jose Offerman and Cliff Floyd. 21 homers for Floyd now. And Billy Wagner saved his 19th for the Phillies. Chase Utley homered for the Phillies. Dodgers upend San Diego 4-2. Jeff Weaver got the win. He is 7-7. Antonio Perez hit his 2nd home run and Jose Brazaban saved his 15th. Astros win over Colorado 7-1. Roy Oswalt the winner, 10-7. Craig Biggio, Morgan Ensberg, and Jason Lane each hit home runs. Biggio, a bit of a story in this ball game, was hit by the pitch for the 268th time in his career, breaking Don Baylor's career record for Major League history. The Cubs win at the bottom of the 9th inning with 1 run and defeat the Brewers 3-2. Burnett hit his 13th home run of the season for the Cubbies. Overbay and Hall went deep for Milwaukee. In the American League, Toronto beat up on Tampa Bay 12-3. Josh Towers the winner, 6-7. Vernon Wells and Russ Adams went deep for the Blue Jays. Boston 5, Cleveland 2. It was Doug Miller-Belly and Mark Bellhorn hitting back-to-back home runs in the 6th for the Red Sox. Casey Blake and Victor Martinez went deep for the Indians. Tim Wakefield the winner, he's 7-6. Mike Timlin took the save, his first of the year. Last final comes from Minnesota, where the Kansas City Royals break an 8-game losing streak with a 3-1 win. Carrasco the winning pitcher, Radke the loser, and Mike McDougall saved his 9th of the year. Those are the scores from around the major leagues and brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest gets you there with over 2,700 daily non-stop flights. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Up next, we'll name our BC Powder Player of the Game as the Travs have defeated San Antonio 3-2. This is the Creative Sports Radio Network.
This time of year, you need to find a place where all your friends can get together for a great time outside. Well, there is a place where you can sit side by side with your buddies watching America's great pastime. Here come the Arkansas Travelers, ready to provide you with exciting Texas League baseball outside at Raywinder Field. The Travs are still the best deal around, with general admission tickets just $6. And every weekend they're in town, the Travs feature a premium giveaway. Plus, there's delicious Petit Jean hot dogs, sizzling chili cheese nachos, and all your favorite cold drinks. For the 5th season, the Travs are affiliated with the Los Angeles Angels, one of baseball's most talent-laden organizations. Last year, Travs third baseman Dallas McPherson was named the top player in the minors. You're sure to see a rising star every night. So get on the horn and gather up all the guys and girls. It's time for a raucous, foot-stomping time with the Arkansas Travelers. Call 664-1555 or go online to Travs.com.
Okay, everybody, we've got to let Travs fans know about our baseball bingo promotion. Sing along if you know the words. At the old ballpark in Little Rock, we play baseball bingo.
B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O. We play baseball and bingo.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays, you'll win lots of prizes.
B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O. We play baseball and bingo.
If you can win a free dinner at the Golden Corral or Villa.
B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O. We play baseball and bingo.
Academy Sports and Outdoors gives away a gift card. Don't worry, fans, we won't sing this at the ballpark, but it's baseball and bingo on Tuesdays and Thursdays at Raywinder Field.
We play baseball and bingo.
Today, a story of sweet revenge for Stephen Shell and the Arkansas Travelers. Shell had pitched 2 very fine games against the Missions earlier this year, going 0-1 with a no decision in another loss. It held San Antonio to 3 runs over 13 innings with 11 hits, but had nothing to show for it. And then today, Shell picks up his 5th win of the season and his first against the Missions. Shell, after walking the first 2 batters of the game, only allowed another 4 base runners for the remaining 7 innings that he pitched. And the line on Shell, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. That line should say enough. Shell kept the Travs in the ballgame when Bobby Livingston dominated the Trav batters through the first 6 innings. And without Shell's effort today, that 3-run rally in the 7th might not have been enough. So with a win over the Missions today, 3-2, Stephen Shell is today's BC Powder Player of the Game. We'll give honorable mention to Greg Porter, who had one of his finest days of the season at third base, handling all plays that came his way flawlessly, and finishes 2 for 3 and scored the winning run and knocked in the winning run. But today it's all about Stephen Shell. BC Powder is the official pain reliever of the Arkansas Travelers. BC gets into your system fast, and BC goes to work fast. Whether it's headaches, backaches, or muscle pain, nothing works faster than BC. Use as directed. Up next, we'll wrap up the broadcast after this on the CSN Travs Radio Network.
Ed and I sell soft drinks at ball games, and he first told me about BC Powder.
We carry big trays of drinks up and down the stadium steps. Man, it's a killer.
And with a backache, that tray feels heavier and heavier.
And the stairs are tough on your knees.
One night I was dragging, and the game wasn't half over.
I told Brian he needed a BC to stop the pain fast, because it goes to work quick.
BC stopped the pain, got me right back to work.
BC goes down easy with a soft drink, but don't tell the boss.
BC, pain relief at the speed of powder. Use as directed.
I never wanted a Coke so bad in my life, like the time I took this really hot girl to a scary movie. I just finished the entire tub of popcorn, extra salt, and my date had just finished her Coke. Which she could have offered me some of, considering it did pay for it, but whatever. So, I'm sitting there and my mouth is like a solid, when she gives me the look, but there's no way I could kiss her. I gotta tell you, I would have done anything to have a Coke at that moment. They say the best lessons are hardest learned. I say don't date a girl who won't share her Coke. Coca-Cola. Make it real.
Sonic presents a mascot proposal.
Hey, Pete. Yeah. I think the extra long cheese coney would be a great mascot. Mm-hmm. You'd be on the sidelines, like, shooting chili out of cannons.
I don't think people are going to like that.
And then it could put mustard in their eyes, like whipping people with himself, like...
Most people want mascots to just be, like, friendly. Like, oh, look at the funny extra long cheese coney.
I want my mascot shooting chili, whipping people, and throwing mustard in their eyes.
Sonic. Nothing goes better with sports.
It's time for a reintroduction to one of your close friends. A friend who supported you through many a spring or summer night over the years. And you never have to go searching for him. He's always in the same spot along the third base line. Baseball fans, reintroducing the Ray Winder Field Bleachers. The Bleachers are the place to gather with your other friends to catch exciting Arkansas Travelers baseball. And at just $6 a ticket, there's no place friendlier. Call the Travs at 664-1555 or visit Travs.com.
Travs end this homestand with a win over the San Antonio Missions, and the Travs go 3-4 in the opening homestand of the second half of the season, going into the off day tomorrow, and then back to action Friday from Tulsa's Driller Stadium, a 5-game set against the first half champion Drillers. Today, Travs pick up a 3-2 victory over the San Antonio Missions. Here are the official final totals. San Antonio scores 2 runs on 5 hits, no errors. The Missions strand 4 and go 1 for 6 with a runner in scoring position. The Arkansas Travelers scored 3 runs, all in the 7th inning, 8 hits, no errors. Travs strand 4 and go 3 for 7 with a runner in scoring position. Winning pitcher Stephen Shell is 5-5. Bobby Livingston takes the loss. Livingston now 7-4. Aaron Pullen came on for the last inning, his 5th save of the year. Time of game was 2 hours and 24 minutes. And the paid attendance tonight at Ray Winder Field is 3,132 for fireworks night. Travs' record now is 3-4 in the second half. They're 37-40 overall. The Missions dropped to 5-2 in the second half, still in first place, and 43-34 overall. Off day tomorrow, starting a series in Tulsa on Friday with the Drillers, a 5-game set, all times 7:05 first pitches. And while we're gone, of course, you can't forget about the Bob Dylan Willie Nelson concert Saturday night here at Ray Winder Field. The stage, as I understand, is coming in tomorrow and will be set up behind second base. And then Dylan and Nelson take the stage Saturday night. 6:30 is when the show will begin. Gates open at 5:30. Meanwhile, we will be in Tulsa. The series begins on Friday night, July the 1st, 7:05 first pitch. Left-hander Joe Saunders pitches for the Travs. He's 5-4 and a 4.25 ERA. Left-hander Zach Parker leads the league with 9 wins against just 3 losses and his ERA at 3.21. 7:05 first pitch, so we'll have an airtime at 6:40 here on the Creative Sports Radio Network. Again, that'll be on Friday night. Thanks very much to our radio affiliates carrying the broadcast on CSN today. 101.3 and 610 AM Russellville, KARV. 1570 Fordyce, KBJT. 101.3 Pine Bluff, KPBQ. 1490 Pine Bluff, KOTN. KDXE, Total Sports 1380, North Little Rock, and 92.7 FM Conway, Little Rock, KASR, our flagship station. Thanks very much to our board operators, studio engineers, and the whatnot down the line. Thanks also to Chris Rhodes, who works today's game at CSN Center Control. Thank you, fans, for tuning in for the broadcast tonight. Hope you have a good off day. I'm Phil Elson, reminding you of the final score tonight. Arkansas Travelers 3, San Antonio Missions 2. Folks, we'll be talking baseball again Friday night.
The Arkansas Traveler postgame show was brought to you by Allstate Insurance. See your nearest Allstate Insurance agent anywhere in Arkansas today. And remember, you're in good hands with Allstate. Arkansas Traveler Baseball has been a presentation of CSN, the Creative Sports Radio Network.